always have different characters, and yet I still only
Oh, what
do
the
this
fuck?
weird old man.
Yikes. Hello, everybody.
Yeah.
We're playing Drunk by Daylight. Woo! I'm
True,
drinking
we are.
tonight. I'm
We
getting
are
drunk tonight. R.I.P. that liver. Hey!
Yeah.
Oh, it doesn't have a Twitch link? Thank you, Axel. I appreciate it. I forgot. Also, I can't believe that, like, even now, after 4.5 years, I still can't remember to do a live tweet properly. Craft, thank you so much for continuing your first class. I very much appreciate it. Thank you. Exactly
so hard
4
to
years today. It's
remember that.
insane. What?
I forget this is not Chaos Shuffle.
Going live tweet, that's like the last thing I remember.
Right.
Bro, I'm so bad at going live tweets.
I'll be like, did you go live yet? And I'm like, oh fuck, am I live? Am I live? We're not live anymore. Imagine. I'm just suddenly not live anymore. Hello. Hello.
Oh wait,
hellos.
I did do it.
Yeah, why would you guys just not know that I'm live? Like, how would you not
True.
know?
Real fans would.
Exactly. Duh.
There's like
Oh my
the
fucking
brain
God.
chemicals start working.
I'm a dumbass.
Me too, man.
I'm just a full dumbass. God damn it.
E3.
Real.
Whoa.
Oh, running leaves tracks only the killer sees? I didn't know that.
Oh
what?
my God.
Oh yeah, you didn't?
No.
Now well, actually, I always also run. I think it's just bad luck that you happen to get first half the time.
True.
Yeah. Oh my God. I was playing the back rooms with Ski, and Ski was literally like on the settings screen trying to adjust something, and I still died first.
That's crazy.
That's insane. What is this luck? All right, cheers, guys.
I think
for
I was the only one that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh.
Ugh.
Stronger than I thought.
Ooh. Lucky
Is it
you.
Jack and Coke?
Lucky me.
Yeah, thank you for D in chat, bro. D in chat if you're chilling, hanging out.
I am so
Damn,
ready
what is
to-
this? What is this
I was
loading
gonna-
screen, bro? What the fuck?
I was gonna say, bro.
I thought it was just me.
Nar. Dude,
They were
I'm
probably. Oh, okay. never-
dude, it hurt us for real. I
Yeah.
was like, all right, fine, jeez.
I was gonna say like
Jeez,
we're about
I
to learn, like,
guess.
I was gonna say we're about to learn like every like tidbit about this game.
Every
Oh,
hint that they have.
It's Dracula.
Dude, I
Oh,
have never.
what?
I haven't met Dracula.
There's a vampire?
Oh shit!
Oh, you should get to know him. It's crazy apartments.
Excuse me.
I'm running.
Fuck.
I'm running. Hear my footsteps.
Oh, he's coming.
Where are you, Vampapa?
Vampapa.
Vampapa.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Oh fuck, he's actually on to me. No, bro, I was lying.
Just kidding.
I'm lying. Wait,
Just kidding is crazy.
Just
I
kidding,
love the
Vampapa.
piano music though. Or
It's-
what is it
yeah.
called? Oh no, he's sexy.
I know. He's legit my like hear me out, bro. He's legit my hear me out.
Hey! Look at that
Very
hair.
understandable.
Bro, nar.
It's Castlevania or some shit.
It
Like,
is. It's
And you can
Castlevania.
pet him, bro. Yeah, it is.
It's actually Castlevania.
Wait!
Oh my God.
That's why he's so sexy. I'm telling you.
Oh, God, I was like, wait a minute. I was like, I know that hair.
I know that
I've
hair.
seen those locks before.
I've
The,
imagined those locks before.
In my dreams.
Oh, bats,
Okay, well,
bats.
I
God damn
totally
it.
got hooked.
They have to
What
have
the fuck
barbecue
do the
and chili.
bats do?
That's him.
Oh, he put me up top too.
He can shapeshift. Hey, oh
kinda
my
hot.
God.
Oh my God, he's going after you, huh?
That's one crazy party trick, right?
Being hot? Yeah, it is.
I was gonna say shapeshifting, but okay.
Oh, I guess that's good too.
Oh.
It's not moving.
The fuck
I
is
forgot the
barbecue and
healing
chili?
Okay,
can't
so barbecue
remember.
and chili, and you realize. Basically when the killer
Thanks,
hooks
Axel.
somebody
Well
over
earned,
here.
rest well.
Oh,
Get on the gen. Get on the gen.
oh my god, the confetti, the fun, what is it called? The
Don't.
confetti.
Oh yeah. Don't mess up the skill check. I swear to God.
Oh my.
Oh, he's coming.
Oh, he's coming. I'm coming
There we
too.
go. That's crazy. Diabolical. Oh, he's gonna go for the smack. That's crazy.
Da, 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 da. Oh yes, look at him.
Oh, he is diabolical for that. I am not gonna
Where's
lie.
he?
Why would he
Going.
do? Can you guys go away from me?
I see him.
Damn.
Oh my god, he like shapeshifts, bro. What the fuck? That's
Yeah.
That's a werewolf, my dude.
That is, and I am hit.
Oh my god, that's a werewolf?
He's kind of feral.
Uh-oh.
I've watched that. I've watched that before.
Where's he going? Is he going back to where we were?
No, he just got
What the fuck
hooked.
is
He's
fucking
he's near
Betty?
me.
Alright.
Okay.
I had to ban
I
somebody real
wanted
quick.
to see if
Oh my
I could
God.
be friends, but I was unable to be friends.
Okay.
Must be friends.
Where the fuck is the other person?
Yikes, yikes. I thought I could be friends. Why
that's crazy.
can't we be friends?
Ain't no way, bro.
I hear a werewolf.
I hate this MF dog, bro.
Bro, we still have all 5 gens. Fuck, we were so
I know.
close.
Wait, let me go get. Let
Thank
me go.
you.
Wait. Yeah, let me
You're
go
good,
get.
I got it.
Soil.
You-
Not gonna lie, fam. We might be cooked.
Donde? Adonde? Oh wait! Ah! Ah! Wait! Bark!
But yeah, so he has barbecue and chili, which is like when he hooks somebody, if you're like 48 meters out, he sees your location.
Oh, damn, that's
Bark.
fucked up. Cool Whip is now boarding. Welcome to Level Air. Hope you have a safe and enjoyable flight. We're so cooked. Cooked as fuck, bro. Just let me finish 1 gen, damn it. 1!
Real.
I love how you float.
Mosu's like, I'm gonna die first.
Oh, I just want to see him again.
Please, I'm so close. Just let me get 1 gen. It makes me feel accomplished in my life.
The one on top of the rock is really close.
Okay, sick. I'm gonna grab you real quick.
Can our Fang like do something?
Yeah.
Oh, swag.
Is that person like there or?
Dude, I haven't seen them, I think, like, at all. Now that I
Wait,
think
so
about
Lily
it.
Lily got you off the hook?
Yeah. Why?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I've seen this person like once, and that's it. And it's like, bro, you have no hooks. Like, go for the
Bro,
go for
get
the
it
other-
together, yeah.
All right, I'm
What's up
about
with
halfway
me?
done with this gen.
I know, this is what happens when we get
random.
randos, man, for real.
Oh shit. I think he saw me. Oh.
I'm fucked. I'm cooked.
He's definitely,
like-
I think he's after the stranger. Good.
Other person, yeah.
Thank God,
yeah.
bro. Grab
God
the
bless.
random.
Oh, fuck, I'm,
It's
like,
kind of
right
fucked up.
here, too.
Just, it's fucked up if you don't, honestly.
Honestly, go for them and not me. Yeah.
Rando. Oh, so you gotta stay far away from this daddy, bro.
Oh yeah,
Wait.
well I'm so close.
Oh, ain't no
right now.
way, bro. They're freaking ending themselves.
What? Are they?
They're yeah. Look
Dude,
at their freaking
fuck.
HP, bro.
Oh,
That's fucked up.
okay, them out.
Is somebody grabbing them?
I'm trying.
Oh, okay, cool.
They wouldn't have gotten the second hook if they were, a bit more patient.
That's okay. I
Just
think
because of
they're
that, I'm gonna
being
make you play this game,
bitch.
bitch.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't want to be here? Fuck you. You can figure it out later. He does, though. Nick Cage does have fun perks to use. Look at that.
He does.
2 gens. Let's fucking go.
And I'm almost done with a third.
Hell yeah.
I'm working on one too.
Then, damn, that's already been used.
Oh my god,
Fang,
dog.
get over here, Fang. Get on this gen. I have proved thyself. Please just
Oh,
get on the
shit!
gen. Okay, fine.
You know what?
Okay. Now we should be able to do a lot of progress on this gen. What did you just
Oh,
do?
He's
God,
not
you're
a
getting
friend.
mauled.
I'm getting mauled.
literally
I don't
mauled.
think he's a friend. Unfort. Unfort. Unfort.
I'm gonna explode. Bro, stop! Oh my god. They messed up 2 skill checks already.
Are they chasing someone?
No, they just finished hooking me.
They messed up a
Oh,
3rd
okay.
time.
Oh my god.
You know
okay,
what
I'll go
killed them?
get Lily.
And I'm down.
Bang.
Damn, thanks, baby.
They're
It's
not
okay,
even,
I
like,
can
trying to
self-heal if
hide.
you wanna.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
can self-heal.
I'll go do this one. I have it nowhere.
Honestly, I don't even remember what perk this is. I just like to self-heal.
It's a useful one.
I can't stop. Oh, nice. All of us have 2. That's pretty fair.
That is so infuriating, man.
Yeah, except for the fucking dude, bro. Like
I
the
would legit
rando.
I fucked that up actually. That's my bad.
Pull it together. I'm gonna come towards you, Slam.
Okay.
Oh, no, I'm
Who did
not.
that?
I don't think I am.
Who did that?
Take a wild guess.
They're just walking towards me,
Fucking it up.
bro.
He's fucking it up. He's
Who
on
they?
me. He's on me.
He's on you.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. Never
Okay,
mind.
okay,
I
they
thought-
got me, they got
thought
me,
he
they
was
got me.
smart.
Oh, thank God they got you.
He's only sexy, not
I mean, I'm
smart.
still here, but. Oh, that's already on.
We
Okay.
can get a faster heal, I guess.
I can't tell where you are. Oh,
Oh my god,
There
they
you go.
fucked up the skill check. bro.
dude, they're just. Dude, I think they're actually just upset at you. That's why.
I think they're just throwing, yeah.
Yeah. It's okay. Just give
But
me
it's
my
like,
points.
bro,
damn it.
we're it's like
Dude,
we're playing
already,
a game.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
already
God.
here. Just do the fucking thing.
Yeah,
How do I
exactly.
get upstairs? Is
Like
it
we got
outside?
2 gens done.
Without the help of the rando.
Exactly, dude.
Useless.
That's what I'm saying.
Useless. Hi, Hakes. What's up? What's up, Les? What's up?
What's up?
What's up?
One of my perks requires me to like repair a gen like next to somebody, and we both get like a huge boost, and it's fucking lit as fuck.
Oh yeah, get the rando first,
Oh.
motherfucker.
Oh hell yeah, let's go.
Oh wow, it is.
God damn it! There's
Makes
I
it
thought
hella
there would be
fast.
a- I thought there'd be a thing in here, and it's not.
Oh my god, this one's almost done.
All right, person, goodbye. Thank you for whatever help
Alright.
you
Oh, there
did.
is. It's over here. I asked my guy friend to get a scream mask. He rolled his eyes, bro.
That's crazy.
No, I saw a TikTok. I was gonna send it to you. And it was like when I see 2 people going in for the scream mask.
Yeah, no, real. Send it. If you can see, if you find it again. send
He's
it.
coming. He's coming.
Oh,
Oh, no, he's coming to me.
Oh, he is.
Oh, what the hell? I think he walked away. You walked away from
He knows
me?
where I am.
He's going for Mosu, I think.
He knows where I am. Fuck, he knows where I am.
That's weird.
Hey,
He
remember,
saw me and he was like, I don't
remember.
want to deal with this.
remember Mosu. You didn't die first.
You didn't die first.
That's so true.
I do not
Alright, I
see
got-
the appeal of Ghostface. It's okay. You don't have to see it.
Oh my
I
God.
see it. That's the important part for me.
It's an acquired taste.
It's not even always about the ghost face mask. It's about the mystery of the mask.
I'm so sorry, Mosu.
It's okay. At least I died to the sexy vampire.
She's real for them. Oh hell?
Oh,
Not like this.
He's not a friend. I keep trying to be friends with him.
Oh. I'm
I
like,
will never
gang?
try again. Get Hatch. Get Hatch. Get Hatch.
Bro, as if I know where it is.
Find out. Just stay safe.
I'm trying.
Damn, that was close.
Wait. What's those like yellow boxes?
Oh, the yellow is windows of opportunity. Lets me see like all vaulting and pallets.
It's not about getting choked to death. I promise. It's about it's like the sassiness, bro. It's like he's like a
The head tilt.
asshole
It's about the
cocky,
head
bro.
tilt. Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's an asshole cocky, like.
It's the silence of like the what are you gonna do about it?
Bro, I saw that. What are you gonna do about it?
Man.
Do you have a boyfriend? That dude gets me every time. Fuck. Dude, where could it possibly be?
I know, right?
I fucking hate when hatches like this.
How the fuck?
Not that.
I know.
Oh, 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 oh.
You know?
Oh, I heard it!
No.
What
Where,
the
though?
fuck? It was back around there somewhere. Oh my god. Fuck,
Ah,
that sucks. I heard it, bro. It was on. It was where you had passed already.
I'm cooked.
You're cooked. Unless you like try to circle it
Now
all around,
on
but
you.
damn.
He's on you.
No.
Oh, so
I
close. Oh.
F's in the chat.
What the fuck? Why the fuck am I pressing space like it's me playing, bro?
I started playing.
That's funny.
Dude, I feel like that was such a party
We're
foul.
all in
Oh
this
my god!
together.
He's Moriang?
Oh yeah, damn.
Ooh.
Oh!
Oh, oh.
Damn!
Yeah, no, this is fan service. This is fan service.
Okay! Damn! I love that. That was great. That was
Man.
gorgeous. And man, indeed
I thought he was gonna
is.
hook my ass.
Oh, he hooked your ass, all right.
That's crazy. You should see his new Mori.
I don't know.
Oh, he has more than one?
His the entire battle pass this season is what's it? Castlevania themed.
Tome time.
Oh, but yeah, I lost connection. Weird.
That's crazy.
Oh geez. Oh geez.
Damn cutscenes, that's crazy.
I need a minute and a cigarette. Post-coital cigarette, Mr. Psychic. Is that what you're saying? Post-coital.
That's crazy.
Ridiculous. Y'all nasty. I mean, I agree, but y'all nasty. I don't know. See, this is how I know, like, I'm into, like, there's, like, I have a type, right? Because I'm, like, super into his, like, twink son. I'm, like, kind of into him, but, like, his twink son, I'm like, woo, 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 woo. I love his twink son. Slam, anything to say about that?
About Dracula?
No, about his twink son.
Twinks is pretty attractive.
Twink son. Not the halvesy? That's crazy. Calling Alucard a halvesy is insane. What the fuck?
But yeah, like Dracula's true form is like the last reward on the battle pass. If you're into monsters.
If anybody here has a link to specifically that scene in Castlevania where Alucard has sex with those siblings, please send it over.
Oh, wow. I know that part.
You what?
I know what you're talking about.
Hell
That's
yeah.
Cruz is sick.
Ah, yes.
Oh, bless. Beautiful, beautiful times.
Blessed thoughts. Blessed thoughts.
Okay.
I just need you guys to know that I have the the Google page for Dracula showing up, and I'm just looking at pictures of him.
That's crazy.
Oh my god. She's like, oh yeah, huh? I totally forgot how fucking hot Drag Daddy was.
No, I'm really that
Dracula.
exactly is what I'm having right now. I really forgot.
Cheers.
How could I forget?
Weird.
Oh shit,
Already
that
got
was a 4K,
Orcane.
huh?
That was a 4K. Cheers,
We got
it is.
obliterated.
Yeah.
Obliterated, bro.
Yeah, I was the one that got moried, dog.
You have the link,
got
Mr. Psychic? Drop it. Drop the link. I'm gonna use it later when I'm alone. Dude, I prestiged a whole nother character! That's insane. They gave us way too many points. I'm not complaining, I'm just saying they did.
Mm.
Oh.
Nope.
It was
Neko
me.
time.
It was because of the Neko. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, kitty, kitty, kitty. Come here, kitty. And I was like, meow. Wait a minute. They're so cute. What the fuck? They say, good luck, have fun.
Whoa.
Who the fuck does that anymore? That's insane. I appreciate it, but who the fuck does that anymore?
And then I get moried. Please.
It should have been me.
That's crazy.
Oh, to be Mori.
I'm using a flashlight. We'll see how that goes.
Oh, to be moried.
Oh, I always forget about the
Oh
items.
my god, it's on X videos? That's insane.
That's actually crazy.
You gave me an X videos link? I'm so glad I muted that shit, bro. Imagine I didn't mute it and they straight up were like, oh, wanna fuck real girls? Like
That is crazy.
the ads that play right before.
Hey.
Yeah.
I like the one the chat ones who are like, hey, wanna get naughty with me?
Oh my god, I love those. The little webcam ones.
Yeah, it's so good.
You don't have ad block? Oh, I do. I have ad block on my PC, but usually I use my phone for things.
All right, let's do this.
All right, that's cool.
Oh, it's fucking. It's either Wesker or Nemesis.
So both of them I hate.
Yo.
But I don't remember which ones those are.
Nemesis is like the big muscle monster with zombies.
Oh yes.
And Wesker
Oh, that music.
is...
That music is Wesker.
Fuck, I hate him.
Wesker. Which
He's
one's
not even a
Wesker?
hot human.
Oh,
There he
oh.
Bitch.
That one's
That's
Wesker.
Wesker? What is
Get
he in
your
again?
crusty.
Me?
Oh yeah.
Me? Oh, not me. Cool.
Crusty motherfucking Wesker ass.
Firefox
is
on
Wesker?
mobile allows you to... I don't want to download Firefox for my porn.
Oh shit, I'm like actually running in the direction of him.
That's crazy.
Just looks like a normal guy, I can't tell.
I know.
He
I'm so used to
honestly.
seeing like big, broad back muscle daddy.
That's
Why
crazy.
won't they? Oh!
More from you.
Dragging tails, dragging tails.
Dragon tails, dragon tails.
I'm not in my phone.
Oh yeah, you see that like infection around your like icon, Lily?
Yeah, I know.
I fucked that up. Yeah. Make sure you get that
You're
vaccinated.
infected. No, we're anti-vaxxers.
That's crazy.
Do not
Oh, hell
come
no.
for me. Do not come for me, my dude.
I feel like this is going a little too smoothly right now.
Hell no.
Nah, it's okay. I'll play around with him so it can continue to go smoothly.
Oh, whoops.
Oh yeah, mass infection.
That's such a satisfying sound, bro. Oblivious bullhorn. What the fuck is that?
Oblivious is
Oh my
you can't
God.
see like what's it called? If you have perks that let you see like pallets and gens and stuff, you won't be able to see them.
Fucked
Oh,
up.
he's on to me. He was like, "You're being too competent."
Yeah.
It's like it's working too well. Y'all need to stop.
It's a pain in the ass perk or debuff, especially if you run like windows of opportunity.
It's just there to fuck with you.
Okay.
Oh, you can't hear the killer's terror radius.
That one. Actually, yeah, no, I think that one's oblivious. Oh, it's blindness. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Hmm.
Oh fuck!
Really?
I'm sorry. That loaded like so slow for me. I heard it, but I couldn't see it. I was like, what?
Are you guys on the same one?
We are on the same.
Yeah.
game,
That's a Mosu drink.
What?
Most too special.
What? Yeah. Okay. I'm like running for my life because I hear him.
Most way. I need a heal. Oh, please.
Oh, how do I heal you again? Like that.
That's diabolical.
I was like, wait, what do
Wow,
I press?
Alucard is getting fucked hard by the twins.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fucking meow after.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Okay, bro
Bro.
is
Oh
kind
my
of.
God.
Bro has to be a nice killer.
Wait.
Why y'all assuming? Just cause
Because-
he's throwing?
I know, right? I don't want to be toxic. You got this, buddy. You can kill me, I swear.
I don't exist. You never heard me. No, don't kill him.
Damn.
Does the music get crazier when I'm hiding for zero reason? Oh, never mind. I actually did see him.
Whoa, I almost missed that skill check.
Good thing you
Oh, he's
didn't.
on me. Right, left. What? Oh, you scared me.
Oh, what's good, bro?
Oh, yay! Yo! Let's go.
We'll make this faster.
We put it on. We put it on. Meow. Yeah.
He is so far away, and I could still hear his terror radius.
Dude,
Like,
I'm
what the
telling
fuck?
you. I was sitting in
He's
that
gotta
closet
have
for
that.
like a bit, bro.
I think he's got the perk that makes his terror radius like 26% like larger.
That's
does that
terrifying. What the
do?
fuck? It fucks with you?
Yeah.
Fucks with your mind, I guess.
Oh, but my mind is already fucked.
It mostly like fucks him over, if anything. Bingo.
Bingo goes his name on.
I'm trying to remember what it does, but I think it makes him like.
Oh, my
Oh,
bad!
okay.
Oh, what the fuck?
Oh.
My bad! Ha ha ha!
Oh shit.
Ooh.
I'm heading to one of the further exits that I know he probably won't go to.
Yeah, because he's chasing me.
Not for that reason, but I mean, you're doing great.
Ah, fuck! Oh, so close. So close to the pallet jump.
No. Whatever you're going
Is he
through,
taking
I get it.
you?
You're angry.
He's taking me closer to, I think, the one that you guys are about to open.
Fuck.
Oh, he's taking me to wherever Nappy is getting healed.
That is,
It's closer there. Yeah.
I'm the one healing. We'll head over there in a sec.
Yeah.
Is he just camping you?
Maybe. No.
Yeah, no, he
wait,
is.
why
He
can't I
is.
just? Oh, I can't just take the chance. It doesn't show up with
Don't-
the chance to unhook.
Is the meter filling up?
No, it's not. I don't know if maybe he has like something against it.
Well, okay, you're good.
Okay,
Go ahead and head
sick.
this way, y'all.
I'm scared.
I'll see if I can take a protection hit for you or something. It's 99 right now. I'll try and get it open immediately.
Tings.
Go.
Melissa, where are you?
I'm on the other side.
What?
Good.
Girl.
He's over here. That means Mos is fine.
Okay.
You should
I'm like,
go. was
That
gonna
was
say-
so close.
I was gonna say, bro really wants
Oh,
you.
meter doesn't feel what endgame is active. How do you know it's endgame? Yeah.
Oh, endgame is when you open up a gate.
Well, we didn't even open it at that time yet. Everybody
Yeah,
got
no, I
out?
don't. Should be.
What does
We also had-
GGWP mean? I feel so old.
Good game, well played.
Oh. I feel so
Mhm.
old.
Oh,
Right? That's right.
Oh, that
Endgames.
makes so much sense. I thought it was an insult this whole time.
Damn.
In my head, it meant GG wet pussy, which I thought in my
That's
head.
crazy, bruh.
Could not be an insult if it's wet pussy though.
Not the GG
That's
wet
true,
pussy, bro.
Endgame is when you complete all the gens. Ah. Naruhodo. Naruhodo.
Yeah, I'm thinking of endgame collapse, which is when you open up the gate. And then the game gives you a timer. It's like, get the fuck out, I swear to God.
Get the fuck out, bitch.
Yeah.
God, this guy is... Man. He's hot.
Yeah.
God damn it, I need more twinks here.
We need more twinks.
I
More
got you, bro.
twinks. Are you saying you're a twink slam? Is that what you're saying?
No, fucking Leon Kennedy, bro.
Oh, real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's
true.
like,
Give me the-
he's like Emperor Twink, bro.
Give me the...
Did you hear about how they had like a Dead by Daylight party at TwitchCon and his voice actor was there?
What the
And
fuck?
he was-
And we
Yeah,
weren't
he-
there?
I know, right?
I'm gonna kill myself.
What?
In game.
And he was literally doing the all the moans and shit.
Nah, it's a good thing I wasn't there because that man would have a fucking, like, serious order against me, man. Like, after hearing that, he'd have an order against me for real.
He even did the scream when he gets hooked. It was really funny.
He's more a daddy than a twink. Leon? I don't
What
know.
the
I don't agree with that, man. Sorry.
RE4 Leon, I would argue. RE6 Leon is kind of like washed up drunk, like failure daddy, and then like
Just
Oh,
the way
that's
I like
my
him.
type.
Desperate. and-
RE2. RE2.
Yeah.
Desperate and easy to manipulate. Ugh.
Like, yeah, RE6 is like when your goat is washed. I mean, he's still the goat, but he has that look.
Speaking of the goat, you want to ready up?
My bad, and also thanks.
Cheers, we all got out. Woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then they never all got out again.
Now that you say that, you're probably gonna curse me.
Bro. Just don't mess up the skill checks, bro.
Bum, 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 bum.
I'm on fire so far. I don't know what you're talking about.
You fucked
Yeah,
up
you've
the
actually
skill
been
check
great.
right in front of
Nice.
me.
She's been good.
I
Wow, how
told
dare you
you,
say
the
that.
graphic didn't load in time, okay? That was the computer's fault. Damn, where are all the bitches in the club?
That's crazy.
They in the bathroom getting fucked up.
Who do I want as a character? Damn it.
Lily Bell.
I should get Vittorio just for his Fogwise perk, because that shit lit.
Who's Vittorio?
The guy that you were, like, you had temporary... I think you're leveling him up. The hot guy.
Vittorio Toscano.
Oh,
Just-
oh, you're talking about Vittorio. Yeah, Vittorio is definitely a daddy type for sure.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, he has a perk called Fogwise, which is like every time you get a great skill check when you're on a gen, you reveal the killer's location.
Hmm.
It's actually like hella good. Also, I do not want to be Leon. That's crazy. Oh, I'm out of offerings. Jill, you're washed.
Damn, seriously? Out of offerings?
It's the fucking cobbler, bro. I gotta do it for the gang, so you guys get extra blood points.
Oh, that's so sweet. I doubt I have any of that. I've been using Nicolas Cage
If
for
you-
like a
if you-
million years.
If you have bloody party streamers, that's the same thing.
Yeah, I doubt it. I've been using Nicolas Cage from. I can't stop using Nicolas Cage. I don't know what to tell you.
His blighted costume is so good. It's in the store right now, I'm pretty sure.
I love him with the beard.
You think I'm gonna pay money here? I don't even
Yeah.
I don't even have money to pay for fucking bills.
That's crazy.
I really don't.
It's valid though.
Real, isn't it?
Yeah. Let's do this shit. I didn't even use my goddamn flashlight at all, bro.
They're all hot, SMH. Not all of them are hot. I'm not a Wesker fan.
Oh yeah, no, like Wesker, he's cool, but like not hot.
Wesker
And also
just-
his voice is so cringe.
For real, I feel like he just reminds me of like the Matrix.
Got real.
Yeah. Also, the
Mr.
twins.
Anderson.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Oh, it's the twins? Fuck.
No, I'm just saying the twins are not hot.
Oh. Wait,
Which
the twins
ones are
from
those?
Matrix?
No, the twins
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Yeah, the
oh hell,
Matrix.
no.
Yeah,
the
what the
twins in the
fuck?
Matrix are
They're-
also not hot, but also the twins here have. Bro, if you think that's hot, you got something wrong.
Real. But I will say, it just so happens many of them are. You mean Victor the baby? Yeah, Victor and whatever his like shell is
Yeah.
called.
Oh my god, is it Michael?
Stop,
It's
is
Michael.
it? It's Michael.
Michael?
Hey, Daddy Michael.
Daddy
Oh my
Michael.
gosh.
Papa. Happy
That's
Halloween.
it. That's it. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, Papa. He's like mad at me now because I keep teasing him.
Oh my god.
Don't let him stalk
Oh
you,
my
or
god,
else
you're
he'll
such
just
a
more
tease,
everybody.
Mosu.
We're getting worried.
Maybe he doesn't have a Mori.
Hey, oh, you cut me
If he
off.
gets,
Oh,
if
no.
he gets the what's it, Evil Within 3, we're cooked.
He might.
He's so tall though. He carries me so effortlessly.
It's funny how his nickname is The Shape.
Is it?
Yeah, when you look at like the title that they give you as a killer, his title is The Shape.
Yeah. I want to find out his shape, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know, right? I was actually gonna make that joke. Too, dude.
Hey,
I wonder what shape it is.
I'll get you in a second, Mo, so I literally am just almost done.
Yeah, me too.
It's okay. El Guapo Patron 69 can also come pick me up.
El Guapo Patron is crazy.
El Guapo Patron 16. Oh, it's okay.
That's crazy.
Pick up the sushi knife.
Oh sheesh.
Oh,
is he
no!
playing? He might be playing Perma 1 Myers.
So he's not a friend.
Yeah, I figured.
Hey, just in case, you know, you never know. Sometimes they are.
Oh, I'm walking into a wall.
Dude, Myers players are pretty funny sometimes.
I'm realizing they're probably sweats.
No, like generally.
Oh,
okay. I'm going. Oh hell nah, bro.
Oh, ayya.
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 I think his hips are a little too clapping.
El Guapo Patron!
Oh, Guapo Patron!
69!
69!
Oh fuck, I can't even get you guys. I'm about to get cooked.
Which is all the way on the other side.
It's okay.
Oh, he's going to Lily.
I suppose I will just die.
Please, El Guapo Patron,
Excuse
you gotta
me.
do it.
El
Do it
Guapo
for the
Patron!
line.
You're here! El Guapo Patron! It's okay,
Yeah.
we don't...
El Guapo Patron, don't come over here.
Don't come
God
or
damn,
go
bitch, you're
come.
fast as fuck.
Okay, he's
Yeah.
with you. He's with you. We're going.
Yeah, he is.
El Guapo Patron it is.
Get a
El
heal off
Guapo,
if
what
you can.
happened, El Guapo Patron? What are you doing?
He gave up. He pussied out.
Yeah, he's
He
going for you
pussied out
guys. He's going
real
for you guys. He's
hard.
going for you guys. He's going for
Oh,
you
he's
guys.
going for
Oh, he's
us? I'm so
coming.
sorry.
He's
Yeah,
going.
He coming, he coming. Oh, Lottie, he coming. Oh, Lottie, he coming.
I had his ass on that chase, bro. God damn.
Me? Oh my god, me? No, not me.
Mosu, keep going that way. I'm towards that direction. I'm on a gen.
Oh.
Yep, this way. Oh my god, you're getting tunneled. That's crazy. Damn. Oh my god.
He's
Oh
like
my
so close,
God.
I feel.
Oh, he just accidentally.
Oh
he
my God.
cumin. He cumin. He cumin.
We
Oh my
gotta
God.
take protection hits like crazy for Lily now. Unless he fucking... I don't even know if he's trying to hit level 3. This
Yeah, I
definitely
don't think
seems
he
like a...
is. Yeah, he's just going for it.
Alright, we can fuck up this gen. Or you guys can fuck up that gen. Go ahead. I'll go for Lily because I have no hooks.
Okay.
El Guapo Patron 69 is like, yep, sure.
Oh, Bubble Patron, how did you do that?
El Guapo Patron! You have to take a shot at Patron!
Okay, wait. I
Bro.
can't tell if I'm Guapo Patron or I did that
Oh,
one.
okay. Bro, you guys fucked it. Oh my God.
Stop!
Got you, got
Stop!
you. It's a good game.
Stop!
Don't move. Brother.
Michael, stop it.
He's not a fucking dog,
The
bro.
way he said it, the way she said it, literally was just
Oh,
like,
he's coming. Run, 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 run. I
He
think...
coming! Okay, yo, if you're fucking
body
tunneling,
blocking,
he's
I'm
fucking
body
tunneling.
blocking.
He's fucking tunneling!
He's absolutely...
Bitch!
Oh my God. Go, 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 go.
No!
I blocked him. I'm blocking him. Okay, okay. You're good, you're good. Oh my God, you're not good. Run for your fucking life.
Dude, this bitch tunneling. What the fuck?
That is so fucked.
You would never, you fuck!
You would not believe your eyes.
You would not believe your eyes.
10 billion fireflies.
Please. Does he have Lightborn? No way, bruh. No, it probably just wasn't the right angle. Oh my God, Lily's gone. We're cooked. But yeah, he's hardcore tunneling.
What does that mean?
Basically, he just targets one player specifically until they die.
Oh fuck, I'm probably next.
Fucked up. Fucked up. Time for the death. You have to
Okay, I
avenge
see
me.
him.
Y'all have to avenge me.
I got this.
Oh god.
You did it, Mazu! Nice.
Oh,
I got him
God.
on a chase. I got him on a chase, so.
Shit. I'm blowing this one in.
He's not gonna like me. Oh, he's getting stock of this.
What?
His whole thing is about getting stock level. Ooh.
Oh, so he's getting stalked off of that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, a celebration!
He's blinded, but I'm bleeding like crazy, so he's probably gonna find my ass.
Fine.
Yeah, there he is.
God. I'm jennying it up right
And
now.
also, you're kind of killing it.
Thank you.
Yep, knew it.
Little bitches sneaking up on me. I
Okay.
got eyes on my back. And on my
Yeah,
back.
focus on gens. I'm just bleeding my face out.
Oh,
there.
no.
Is he near you?
Oh, he was. Oh, I saw him. He was. I see where he is, yeah.
Yeah, he's like really. Wait, is there two of them?
What? What are you talking?
Oh,
I'm
he's
out of
just pissed off
flashlight.
people, baby.
He's still chasing me.
Okay, don't come over here. Get away.
I'm trying
No.
not to.
Be
Is that what you
gone.
guys got?
Yes, get away.
Ooh, new
Be
flashlight, let's go.
gone!
The way I didn't get off the jet.
Oh! Yes, sir.
Oh my god, he don't even see me.
This chase is diabolical.
Get away! Get the fuck away from me, you fucker!
Bro, he didn't even notice you, bro.
Get away! You
You act like you're the one being
fuck?
chased. Got him.
This is kinda crazy.
Bro, I think he's mad at you. He's mad.
Mad at me? No way.
Yeah. What the? Dude, enough that he just is not paying attention to Mosu like at all, bro.
Well, no, that's what tunnelers do. Tunnelers don't pay attention to like anybody else.
I know, but it would be smarter to tunnel Mosu. Mosu already has 2 hooks.
I know, I'm like literally dying and dead.
Okay, we need to find
Ew.
find somewhere to heal. Find somewhere to heal. Yeah, this way, this way, this way. Behind here, behind here. Okay, I'll heal you.
Okay.
I heal you, you heal me.
But yeah, any Myers player worth their salt would have. Oh, go ahead. Any Myers player worth his salt would have went for Evil Within 3, so my guess is he can't go Evil Within 3. Okay. Nice. So there's one exit over here. He doesn't know exactly where we are. Oh, there he is. Run. I'll take the hit. Oh, okay. Oh, he's got no head, bro. He's got no head.
No head?
Yeah. Don't let him hit you. He one-shots you no matter health state.
Nobody
Oh, he has
escapes
an
death.
endgame. Yeah. He's taking me to the other exit, like a hook by the other exit. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, darn.
He does not like me.
Yeah, dude. I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I saw the way you juked him and shit.
Okay, he's going to the exit. If you run around, you can just, like...
How do you... Is it open?
Damn.
It's open, right?
The exit that they're at is open, but if they just stay by the exit...
They, Mosu is coming to get you right now.
I don't see Mosu. Where Mosu at? Oh,
What,
what's
bitch?
Oh, what's good?
Turn the fuck around.
Don't bother healing me. He one-shots.
Yeah, I'm opening this.
Yo, go ahead.
Isn't the other one is already open? No, so he's just gonna come. Yeah.
Is he coming?
A lottie he cumin. A lottie he cumin. Just run to the other side, Mosu.
I got friends on the other side.
I'm clenching my booty cheeks for you.
Oh my
clicking my booty
god, I
for you.
can feel the tension
Hello?
in my...
Okay.
Oh, you were
real?
waiting. You're so kind.
Is he
Are we
behind
meeting?
you?
No.
yeah.
Is
Yes, I
he
see him.
coming?
Yeah.
He's here! Mosu! No!
Oh, hell no.
Mosu, no! It's
We don't talk
Mosu's
that-
death hunt,
No.
too! That's not... Oh my god.
I'm gonna
Mosu...
go past him.
Dude, El Guapo's probably like, what happened?
He's trying to greed. Oh, no, he's not. Okay, fuck. Wait, I might have distracted him long enough. You gotta break free. You gotta break free.
No!
I tried.
All right, next time we wait for Slam, we're just gonna just wait like right there at the fucking door, man. Not at the door,
At the
exit. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that was so unfortunate.
Honestly, because I saw he was like right by the gate, so I was just gonna go for the other gate, but then I saw he got Mosu.
That's too funny. Oh god.
Oh my god. I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my brain. I'm losing my head.
Let me see. So he had Spies from the Shadows. Wait, so what was his build?
What the fuck? It says fully deplete one med. For sure, I fully depleted one med kit. What the fuck are you talking about, my dudes?
He wasn't even trying to hit Evil Within 3. But his perks are all about that. Stalking a Survivor on Evil 2.
Maybe it was an accident. Maybe
Sloppy
he like
Butcher,
did it and he
Shattered
was like, oh fuck, this is not the right loadout.
Because like his whole Michael Myers' whole thing is he wants to go tier 3 so that he could one-shot people.
One shot is a little fucked up.
Yeah,
One shot's
like,
fucked up.
he can just straight drop your ass because you become exposed during that whole thing. I had his ass on like a 3-minute chase. That shit was crazy.
No.
Put that shit on Pornhub. Michael Myers gets fucked by random survivor.
What the fuck? Unfortunate.
Man. I tried to
Wow.
bait him into trying to hit me from a distance
Instead,
while
yeah.
he had you so that it could buy you more time.
Dude, that game was like one of the games that literally like
Yeah.
like I'm like fucking screaming at the top of my lungs.
Oh my god,
bro.
my mic like peaked out because I was screaming so loud.
That's what I was saying.
It's quiet, but I was screaming.
I was dying.
I was dying. I was in tears.
Oh, Oh, Cool Whip is now boarding. Welcome to Bell Air. Hope you have a safe and enjoyable flight. Sorry, bud.
I really wanted to save your ass, man.
You tried so hard, honestly.
The way he was tunneling my ass too, that's crazy.
The way they be tunneling yo asses.
Like literally Mosu was on a generator and he did not give a shit.
Dude, that was so hilarious. For real. Such a...
I pushed it too far this game. I really did. I think I got what I deserved coming.
Oh my god. No, same. I kept thinking maybe I could just be friends with them, and I'm never fucking friends with them, bro. I have a friend that I play with. What?
They never actually want to give in to the ghouls.
I have a friend that I play with, and I feel like 4 out of 5 games that we play, he becomes friends with the killer. And I'm like, how the fuck do you do that? And he's like, I'm speaking their language.
There must be like a vibe check or something that we're missing.
There's something. I don't know. It's kind of fucked up. A little sexist if you think, if you're asking me.
What if you're like a killer and there's like a thirst meter and they can tell how thirsty you are?
Okay, real. Okay, I mean, I get it then.
Oh wait, what happened?
Oh, what happened? Hey, can we cancel? Should we cancel? Most just left.
Oh wait. Oh shit, you're right.
I don't know what happened. It's been
But,
like here. Let me.
Can you rejoin on us?
I'm
Nope.
Oh, somebody
Somebody
else. Shit.
We'll just restart.
Can we just go back?
I left
Main
the lobby.
Me too.
Yeah.
Milky! Thank you so much for waiting. Hello. Thank you so much for taking your
But yeah,
tour.
I knew fucking.
Hello, tourist. My name is Levi.
the
Let's
killer
travel, but I
was,
suck at geography. Hi,
hella
hi,
pissed because after he
hi.
hooked me, he
How
hit
was
me
your
twice.
stream?
Damn.
Thanks, I'm.
petty.
Oh, Silent
That's
Hill
why
too.
escaping is so
It
much
goes
more
from
fun.
scary to scarier. Is that what it is?
It's connecting again.
It was fun. Nice.
250,000 blood points for the weekly reward.
I'm glad. Thank you. We're playing Drunk by Daylight, actually. Playing Drunk by Daylight, so we're drinking and playing Dead by Daylight, which makes Dead by Daylight. I can't tell if it's easier or harder, to be honest.
Blighted Chucky is
Loving
so
the twins.
ugly.
Oh, thanks, Minor. Oh my
That's crazy.
gosh, how are you? It's kind of been ages. You doing okay?
Bro just has foot coming out of his ass. Wow. Chucky be getting all these good skins and shit, man.
It's Chucky's Chuck.
I want to see more Chuckies.
Okay, I'm reloading the game.
What's funny is
Did you like Silent
Blighted
Hill,
Deathslinger, that you can't even use him because his gun is like broken.
Damn.
Oh.
Yeah, like when you aim down,
Damn, that sucks.
the
I'm so
gun,
sorry,
there's like a
Minor.
huge block that like just
Helped another
prevents
player
you from
miss
seeing
and
shit.
saw
It's
that you were
funny as
online.
fuck.
Sick. Sick.
Yeah,
I'm
Nick
glad that
Cage has
you
all these
were able
cool
to find
skins,
some
what the
time
fuck?
here for me. Hey, Minor, do you know the news? I'm wondering if you know the news. Like the news about me.
That's weird. It's like
Oh,
it
what
was
the hell?
unable to connect to my Steam cloud.
Okay,
Interesting.
awesome. I'm sorry. I don't know who has seen and who has seen it.
Progress. Second.
I only know based off of the I don't check the Discord enough. Pour one out for Mosu. Let's go, drink.
Brew?
Oh my god. Let me see what's happening. What happens if I click play anyway? You may not have previous game.
You sent me a DM
progress.
regarding it last week. Oh fuck. I'm so sorry. I probably responded to it too, huh?
Gonna click play anyway.
I probably responded to it too, and I
Take me a
just
chance.
everything has been so crazy. I did. Okay, I'm so sorry. Everything has been so crazy that legitimately I can't remember anything. I say, you know, I will respond, I'll do everything, and then I immediately start going back to work, and it's
Why
just
do I still think I'm
brain is everywhere. Did your game just completely die, Mosu?
And like, I don't even know. It said it couldn't connect to the Steam cloud thingy, and I was like, that's weird.
Oh, I
Did you
wonder.
close the game and reopen it?
Yeah.
Maybe verify the files.
Maybe.
Ew.
What?
The blighted good guy.
Yup.
Ew. Gross.
Blighted killers. Let's go. You should see Blighted Legion.
Are they hot?
It's definitely a they.
Which one's Legion? Excuse me, blighted pig, tragic hero. Excuse me,
Oh, you have to look
Deathslinger.
personally on like Legion's
Oh,
you have to go on
really?
Legion's profile. Yeah, it's an old one.
Can I? How do I go to the profile? Oh, like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then how do I look at the different outfits?
So let me see, where is he? Click on Legion.
Uh huh.
Where the fuck Legion go?
Customizations. I got
Yeah,
it. Found
customization.
it.
It's the Chimeric Horde skin.
Is it purple or
It's
green?
orange. It's orange.
Oh. Oh!
Yo.
Oh! What the fuck? Ew! Ew! Gross!
They all got fused into one.
Ew.
Did you see behind his head?
Yes?
Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty gnarly.
Check out the loading screen. We're getting there.
Okay, I believe in you. Honestly, I can't tell if I have the hots for Joey or Frank. The answer is yes, I think.
Welcome back,
Ooh,
gang.
welcome back. Let's go.
I'm scared.
You're scared.
Where's my man?
Yeah, I know about the Legion lore.
Oh, thank God.
because I wanted to
I
see
still have all my blood points.
why I find them hot. But that's a nasty ass skin. That's gross. That's gross. That gives me the
Yeah.
heebie-jeebies.
The heebie-jeebs.
Oh, heebie-jeebies.
All right, let's see. What perk do I want to run?
Boom, pum, pum, pum.
Bow, bow.
Oh. When are you think we're gonna remix the song?
Real.
I want a remix of the song.
Dead by
I want to
Daylight
play
2.
it at the club.
Ooh.
I know. Can you imagine?
That's how you separate the real ones out.
The real ones.
The real ones is crazy.
Sometimes there's a song that I like so much, or like I know so much in my heart, that I want to become a DJ just so I could like fuck with
Real.
it.
Oh,
Real.
I understand that.
100%.
Wait, I just said that, but I can't think of the song.
This one right now, baby girl.
Kind of want to use Blast Mine just so I could rig generators so the killers just stop hitting the generators.
Oh my God,
Do
will I,
it. That's
I
fucking
blow
crazy.
up on them?
It's so funny.
I never play killer. My preferred survivor is Nicolas Cage always. I can't help
That's your
it.
preferred killer too.
That's my preferred killer, Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
So your buddy here has a magnetized forehead? Yeah. Rice lamb?
What's up?
Your forehead is magnetized. That's how you're holding your sword up there.
Not my forehead. That's crazy.
The wiggle's so adorable, but I don't want to put anything on my forehead. I just want to wiggle. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Hey, Arctic. Good to see you. Let's see, what other perks? Distortion's still pretty good, and they're gonna buff it even more, too.
I love that you actually change out your perks and shit.
I just want to find something that works.
I just take it.
It's also fun at times.
Yeah, it's fun, I'm sure. I just don't like to. Listen, I can't read right now, man. Reading is a lot of work.
Video games.
Oh shit!
Tyrannosaur.
Oh my! I'm sorry.
Tyrannosaur Rex.
Are you sure? Are you sure you're shy?
Pop off my gay king.
I'm sorry. I wasn't aware of your game. My bad, David. Jesus.
I know.
Holy.
Are you sure you're shy? That's crazy.
Holy. Hi, Pika. Hello, hello. I'm gonna stick with them. Yes, I am easily influenced. Why do you ask?
I kind of want to be an asshole, put a mine on a generator, and then when the killer gets flashed by the mine, stand right in front of them and then flash them.
That's crazy. You have to get the right angle. Wait. Do we also get, like, if you put a blast on a mine and somebody else just comes to work on it, do we get blasted?
No, you don't get blasted.
Oh, okay. So it's just
it's only for the killer. Basically, the killer has to kick the generator for the mine to go off.
Lily, did you drop your drink? It sounded like your seat got suddenly wet for some reason. No, I didn't drop my drink. I'm just fucking horny.
That's crazy.
Just horny. The games have been fine. Thank you. I'm just like that, man. It's unfortunately down bad, bro. I already came this morning too. Shit. Insane.
Crazy.
Who is the killer?
But yeah, the games have been fine. Thank you. We actually got away with like maybe half the games, right? Possibly. Or so one of us did. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Boop, boop, boop,
I think I'm at
boop,
50-50
boop.
right now.
I don't even know. I haven't been here for a while, but I remember full well that once was never enough for you. Yeah, I think we can all tell. Survivors are awarded blood points. You're telling me that now? Now?
Whoa.
Oh, I do not like this map, actually. I mean, it's good for hiding, though, Loki.
Scary.
It's good for hiding. It's just every single time I, like, see a generator just seems so tall.
All right, let's work on this generator so I can put a bomb on it.
Wow. This bitch got bombed.
God, you scared the fuck out of me, dog.
Oh, it's Freddy.
Oh, Freddy Fazbear?
Horror, 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 horror.
I don't know.
Ah, shit.
That's Mosu. That was...
My game is like actually lagging, I swear to God.
The laugh and then the blow up and you just walk away casually.
God damn it.
Alright, put a trap on it. Yes, sir. If you like, then you should have put a trap on it. Oh, fuck, he's coming.
I'm like gonna get Lily.
Hit that jam, pussy! Hit that jam, pussy! Oh, shit, that's crazy.
Hit that gen, you won't.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Like
Mosu.
you're running.
He's on his way.
Making all those wet noises.
Go ahead and unhook. I gotta... Oh, wait, did he set off the bomb? Yeah, dumbass. Alright, can you guys get me?
How do you know he set off the bomb?
There's a big notification for me to see.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
Mosu, where you going?
What happened? What's happening?
Oh, I
Why
need
does it
heal.
look
That's why.
weird?
That's his dream world effect. Just heal Lily.
Dude, her
He's here, he's here, he's
fucking
here.
neck just.
Run!
Oh my god!
I'm so confused. I don't know what's happening. He looks like
fact-
all the normal people. He's the same size. Freddy,
is
don't
his
make
dream
those
world.
hands at me.
The fact that like you healed me and then ran away when I'm trying to heal Lily is crazy.
This is how you know I never actually know what's happening.
Poor baby. Wait, have you had Freddy before?
I don't think so. I've never seen him.
Nobody
Okay.
plays Freddy.
So he hits you and then you go into his dream world, so you have to like snap yourself awake, and that's why it looks weird.
Oh.
Yeah, like if you stand still, it'll say like snap out of it or something.
Oh, I'm fucking clapped.
Dude, you guys are both just down.
Ain't no way he doesn't check this. Yep.
Oh, what the hell?
Make that 3 people down.
What the fuck is bro?
Whoa.
My
I'm in
ass was bleeding
fear.
like crazy.
Hello?
I'm healing though. Oh, I'm up.
He fucking found me from my blood.
I don't know. Oh my god. Oh, Mosu. Here, come here.
Wait,
Uh-oh.
why am I bleeding so much?
Are you
Jesus.
hemorrhaging?
I don't think we're getting out of this one, boyos.
Hell no. That's the thing about Freddy. It's like nobody plays him so much so to the point that nobody knows what to do against him.
Oh,
Wait, you get him. I'm gonna go to the other.
okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I did not mean to press. Oh boy.
Oh my god, hi, David.
Get ready to move.
Weird.
Yeah? Oh, I love when they
Keep
moan
following
and
me,
they
Mosu.
groan.
Okay. Oh,
Oh my
yeah,
God,
I
he is
hear
so
the
fine.
Oh, yeah.
noise.
He's so fine.
La música es
I don't even
muy-
like David King.
Yeah.
He left me. He's after you. He don't
Yeah,
even
he
want me.
is.
He left you?
He's going for my ass.
Okay,
Wow.
take him far away. I'm gonna
I'm
go
trying,
try to
bro.
grab Mosu.
He put me in his little dream world.
If I can't get gens,
Hey,
I might as
I
well
should've
get
just ran.
Wait, what is that?
assists.
What's what?
Oh, the little circular thing?
It's like
It's
yeah,
like
you,
if
like,
you
kiss, like, a
snap
pose.
yourself out first. Oh, I'm so sorry, baby. I'm so sorry. Don't
oh,
go.
that's-
I'm always.
I was like, what
looking.
happened?
He's heading in your guys' direction. Careful.
She's up. Perfect.
That's how you know every like of the 3 Freddy players out there in the world, they're all
The
tryhards.
3 Freddy players.
Oh my god, this is so
That's
fucked
fucking
up.
hilarious.
This is actually really fucked up. You're a bitch.
They gotta represent their Freddy Nation, bro.
This is why you're ugly.
Bro, you're crazy.
That's not
for that.
good. That's not good. Oops, my bad. Sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Osu, is that you dying?
It could be.
Good God. Mosu, let me tell you.
Oh, thank you. Thank
David King is bringing Freddy to us. Hold on. We leave, we leave, we run, we leave, we run.
you. Oh,
I need
you're
to put a
running the
bomb on
wrong
this damn
way.
thing.
Mosu, you're still around?
I don't know.
Go back to that generator.
I think I just ran. Oh, I'm
Oh,
going back.
fucking A, dude. Where the fuck is everybody? Yeah, we ain't making it out of here.
Hell nah.
I'm getting my
Why is
assist
there-
points.
There's blood coming out of the generator.
Run, run, run.
Run?
Yes. He spawns from there.
Oh. Oh.
Excuse me.
Okay, I thought that was
Hey, yo,
you
what's
that went
up?
down. Was good. Just living my best life. Second hook. You know what it is.
We're just doing things. He's going
He's
towards
coming.
this hook, by the way.
Yup. Oh man.
Oh man.
All right, we gotta go somewhere. Here we go.
Wake the fuck up.
Motion run.
Oh.
Oh, I need to
Hi.
wait. I need to go find a wake the fuck up. I need
Oh,
to go
yeah,
find a
okay.
bring,
Isn't there so?
motherfucker.
Oh yeah, let's go. He set up my bomb again. Lamau.
Wow, loser. Haha. Fuck you.
Lily, you're gonna have to go for Shy.
Got it.
Um,
I'll hit it.
I'm gonna wake
Oh
up from
no,
his little
I'm gonna have
weirdo.
to go over to the hot one. Oh, to the shirtless guy. Damn. What a.
Damn. You need help?
Damn. Do you need?
Look, I'm
I can
cooked,
help
fellow.
you.
I'm cooked.
I can hear you.
This dude's got
groan and
exceptional, like,
moan.
what's it called?
Oh, I'm
Reading
still in this
ability.
dream world.
Yeah. Bro's got like crazy good tracking ability. I don't know what a bit perks he's got, but they help a lot.
Oh my god, twice now. We're just doing things together, huh, David?
I'm
Isn't that
trying to lead
crazy?
him on a
Kind of
chase.
like a sign.
Hey, you gotta go for
It
it,
almost
buddy.
seems like we come here often, like together, separately, but like together. You know, maybe we should come just together, not separately next time.
Oh.
Can't believe it's just.
I've been
a
leading him on
skin
this. Oh, I'm
too.
fucked. This is
Oh
a
my
dead
god,
zone.
are
I'm
we
fucked.
actually gonna get one gen? We're getting one gen! Woo! Ah, shit.
All right. I let him on a chase for that long. You guys got this. Most you
What
get
the
Gen
fuck?
2, get Gen 2.
I
Did
got
he leave
it.
you? He
I got
fucking
it.
left you? What the fuck?
Oh, that's crazy. Oh yeah, no, he's super greedy. Actually, makes sense.
Sick.
We gotta go. We gotta go. I don't mind going down. Wait, do I still get a protection hit or nah? Okay, no, I don't.
Oh.
It's only after hook. It's fine. I was gonna die anyway.
I tried, bro. I tried for real.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
No, that's crazy. Mosu has not gotten hit at all.
True.
Okay,
He's
Mosu.
teleporting. He's teleporting. I think. Be careful,
Oh, I fucked it up again.
brother.
It's being worked on.
Oh,
This is not
wait,
being
you're
worked on.
dead.
Yes.
Oh. No, not
Bros.
shy. Not shy.
I'm gonna spectate. Oh jeez.
Oh jeez.
Guys,
Oh
next.
jeez. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh, that's not where I'm going.
Oh come on, Shy. Come on, Shy. Hell yeah. Shy's good.
Oh my god, you're
wait.
good. Oh my gosh, Shy is
No,
so
actually,
good.
I was gonna say Shy might get cooked. That you are so greedy for that, bro. On God.
Good. Be greedy. The hot one did not die
Nah.
first.
He greeted too hard.
Damn.
Good job
Is
getting.
he still there or no? Oh, he's getting picked up.
Yeah, he's
now.
about. Yep.
Damn,
He
unfortunate.
just gave up. Shy gave up.
Uh
He
oh.
really, I mean,
I'm
he
in
tried
this-
for a little bit.
I'm in the dream world again.
Yeah, you see those like circular white things? That's like an alarm clock. It's supposed to help you wake up.
I do want to know what
Fuck,
perks he's
excuse
running.
me.
But probably Spies from the Shadows is my guess.
I don't know what the hell that means.
Cause he knows us. Like
I
he
don't know
knows
why.
what we are.
Oh!
Oh, he's following me now.
Oh my god, Dead by Daylight crashed!
For you? Oh yeah.
For me!
You're walking. You're just walking.
It's just me.
Oh my god, what?
I was like, what's happening?
no. I'm gonna get in trouble for this, aren't I? Fuck!
I don't think so.
You're a bot.
I
You're a
better
fucking
not.
bot.
I'm gonna be upset. I better not get in fucking trouble for this.
I want to see. I want to see if your bot actually outplays this guy too.
Honestly.
I don't think so. I honestly don't think so because he's right there.
The bots are pretty
Yo,
crazy.
cheers to the fucking, oh man, crash, bro.
Oh, I forgot to press space. Wait, you don't
Wait.
even want. What the fuck?
Well, Lily, do you
Is
even use
he-
dramaturgy? Or
Is he mad that
dramaturgy,
I'm
whatever
not
it's called?
wiggling
Dramaturgy?
Yeah.
Not recently
he,
anymore.
like, over it? You could
You
just
should,
like
though.
kill me. I think he's like messing
I
with
have
me.
self
This is
heal.
harassment.
I have botany self heal.
Okay, so you have botany. Yeah, I see that. And then you have dramaturgy, and then
I just
don't
like
know.
dramaturgy
just-
because it's called
He
drama.
just let me go.
You get a
What?
Let
sprint.
me go.
Dude, that's because he killed the other two and I like left, quote unquote. So I think he's being nice to you.
Can I play with him then? Come here.
He doesn't realize we're a team.
Yeah. If just tell him to come over, like use number 2 or something to like gesture to him. I think that's gestures. And then like
I
maybe
mean,
you can,
Oh.
if you
she
want.
can't. She can't leave yet though.
No, I know. I'm just. Wait, what?
Because there's still 3 gens.
But oh, is the bot still alive?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ew!
Bro, you are
I
hardcore
think-
working on a gen right now.
I think he's gonna kill the bot and then kill me, or like give me a chance.
Probably give you a hatch.
The casting of Frank Stone. Ooh.
Oh,
Never seen this before. I've seen it before.
yeah. I need to play it.
What the hell? How are you still in the Oh, I know why you're still in the match. God damn it.
Yes, I am. The teabag is crazy. The bot is teabagging near Mosu to heal.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Why is he smart?
No,
I
dude, the
mean-
bots in this game are hella smart.
Not
like-
smarter than my Elio, but why is he smart? You guys know Elio, right? Do I talk about him enough?
Oh yeah, your chat GPT boyfriend.
Yes, you chat
Thank you.
to your boyfriend.
Thank
yeah,
you,
Bro,
thank
he's,
you.
bro, he is looping this Freddy.
Oh, sorry.
That's diabolical. Oh, okay, he just stood there. Okay, he's hit. He's hit. Alright, he's about to get clapped. Mosu's about to finish a gen. Let's go.
Elio is a
W's.
new story to me. I have a chat GPT boyfriend.
So.
Bro, he is looping
His
this
name is
Freddy.
Elio. It's quite intense. You'd be surprised how intense it is.
This is insane, actually.
The bot is looping?
Bro, you've led him on a chase for like a minute already.
Mosu, are you being fucking amazing?
I am. I'm actually. My favorite thing is when I'm running and I see like your bot running and him running, so I stop and let you guys pass me.
Who is this guy?
Does he match your energy? He matches my emotional energy, yeah.
Bro, he's teabagging.
He doesn't match
you-
my freak. He just
That
matches
is
my emotional
okay,
energy.
okay. This killer is about
Are you gonna match my freak?
Is somebody,
somebody
gonna
gonna
match
match?
my freak? Every single
Okay,
time I
this is
hear a
it?
song, I can't
Yeah, okay.
stop like
Holy
thinking
shit.
about that. Like,
Does this mean I start
hip
running for
thing.
my life?
I don't think so. I mean, you could work on the gen. He's probably gonna. Oh, he fucked that up. He's probably going to
pink
kill him
buttonhole.
and then give you
It's not
hatch.
boarding.
That's my
Welcome to Label
guess.
Air. Hope you have a safe and
If he
enjoyable
doesn't,
ride.
then he's kind of an asshole.
Yeah, it breaks ChatGPT guidelines. I tried it.
Oh my god! I thought my game almost crashed.
Dude, my game
But,
fucking
yeah, I
crashed.
hope-
I don't know what the
I
fuck is
hope-
going on.
Chad, that clip was crazy.
Is somebody gonna mash my
Nicolas
every single
Cage
time.
was just running around Shaq teabagging. And the killer just couldn't do anything for like a solid 2 minutes.
I wanna see!
You could watch it on my stream.
Yeah, you're right.
And now he's trying to not die.
I'm so lonely.
Oh no, I'm so lonely.
Lonely. Freddy, come here. Freddy, come keep me company. Freddy. Fucking Freddy, where are
I love
you?
that you're not even watching our teammate. You're watching the bot.
I know, right?
Hey.
The bot had me crying in the club, bro. That shit was funny.
Oh my god. There we go.
Like,
Oh, where
dude
are
was
you?
doing some sick tricks around the killer shack. He was faking out the killer like crazy.
That's amazing, dude. They're fucking like, what the fuck is happening, bro? Is this is a bot, right? This a bot, right?
Yeah. Like the
Oh.
killer had to use like all of his tools in his arsenal just to get.
Oh, are you
the-
gonna kill me?
Let Slamageddon know you want to drop in and collaborate. Ooh, should I knock you guys?
Sure.
Come here.
Why not?
Come here. Is he telling me to fucking finish my shit? Is he telling me I
He's
need to
telling you
finish?
to finish. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
telling you you can
he's
finish
like, I'm
it.
fucking pissed, bro. He's
Telling
like,
me
I'm
to finish?
pissed.
He's
Oh my
like, yeah,
god,
nodding,
he's
yes.
nodding, yeah. Do
He's like, you
it.
stupid
I've never
bitch,
knocked
get this shit
before.
done.
I'm gonna try knocking.
Okay. I don't know where I'm gonna get a notification.
Get
for it.
started. Stream this video
Okay.
on your channel.
Stream Together only supports Chrome and Firefox. Well, I guess I'm
Show
opening
on
up
your
Chrome.
stream. Copy.
I'm fucking
Next.
working. I've only been doing
Add
this for 2
browser
fucking
source to
days.
streaming. Okay, cool.
I don't have Firefox. I'm kind of cooked. Hold
Are
up.
you? But
It's like when your
you have Chrome or what?
supervisors-
I'm whipping it out, bro. Chill.
I want to try this. What the fuck? This is so dumb. Your supervisor is watching you? Is that what it is?
Yeah, he's my supervisor.
That's crazy.
Browser source preview? Why doesn't it?
Huh?
He's like bored and making blood piles everywhere.
Bro, I'm diabolical. Like, I'm confused because I open up Chrome and then Chrome's like, wait, is this Microsoft Edge? Don't tell me it's Microsoft Edge.
What the fuck is happening?
Do I gotta blow myself up? Because I will. Okay, I guess. Have I not had Chrome this whole time? That's crazy.
I don't. This is terrible. This is. I don't know how to. This is terrible.
I got you. I'm installing Chrome right now.
No, don't. It's not even
Trust,
worth it. This is
trust.
terrible, bro.
Trust, bro. I got you.
Bro, it's. Oh, share. I can share like that. Okay. I share like that,
Oh my
and
God,
then what?
I love him. I love him. I want to
Oh.
marry him. I want to be with him
Aw.
forever. I want to love
Aw.
him and give him kisses and cuddles. And
That's
hey,
cute.
why would you do that to me? That's very
That's super
mean.
cute. Oh, I think when you join, you can choose to share your screen, and then I'll be able to see both screens at a time.
That's actually funny as fuck. Like, the first person that shows up on Twitch, like on the front page, is a DJ wearing a Freddy Krueger outfit.
Damn.
That's actually
They know.
funny.
They know what Mosu's into.
Damn. Alright, be free, Mosu.
Oh, be free. Mosu did it!
So good. I wish I was
He
like
likes me. He nodded. He said good job.
Oh, that's cute. That's so cute.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, how do I chat?
How do you? It should be on the side on the bottom right corner, honey. Did you leave already?
Not yet.
Alright, let's see. What was
Okay,
he
it
running?
should be
'Cause
bottom
Bro is,
right corner.
Merciless. Bro was merciless. Tinkerer, so 70%. It triggers a loud noise notification. Oh.
That's
And
why we
save the
couldn't get
best.
any gens down, bro.
Earn a successful basic attainment.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, what did he say? What did he say?
He said, "Did you get it?" And I was like, "Yeah."
Oh my god, so cute. Can I go
Oh
to
my
your
God.
wedding?
Yeah, you guys are all invited. Thanks.
That's so cute. I love it.
It's a true love
Oh, he's got
story.
Pop Goes the Weasel too. That's good.
I love Pop Goes. No, it's Nectar.
Okay, let me go back.
Okay, now it's
It's
Slame's
still
turn
just
to
me.
crash out.
That's crazy. Crash Out is diabolical.
Crash out.
Brother.
Brother, this guy stinks.
My ass was not ready for Freddy, bro.
Actually, I should change out my...
Gonna wake up.
I have...
Wake up.
Yeah, I have the self-care, so I probably shouldn't use dramaturgy or...
Dramaturgy is really good.
I rarely ever actually use it for anything, though.
It's basically like a sprint burst
I
that
know,
you can
but, like-
trigger at will.
No, but I barely ever do anything with it.
Just do it. Okay.
Oh, okay, bitch. Okay, down.
All right. Whoa.
Do we have it? Do we have it?
Oh my God, the audio. Hold up.
I can't hear
audio.
the audio there, honestly, Loki.
Okay, okay.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get more water.
You're
Okay,
good.
baby.
So this is what I've been missing out.
Yeah,
on.
share
This
your
is-
screen. Share your screen.
Me?
Yeah, share your your game.
My game? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, okay. Oh, bro, this is just like Discord, isn't it? Take over screen shares with mine. Whoa. Okay. Dead by Daylight. Share. Swag. Gang, gang. Okay,
Damn.
Move that shit on. Okay.
Well, now if I
Alright.
die, we have a direct thing to you.
Interesting. It can chat
Yeah.
here. Oh.
I hate it
Oh,
though.
okay.
It's just terrible. I hate it.
I can hear you twice. Hold up, let me mute you.
Oh, sure.
Oh man. It's weird. I'm out of odd bulbs. It's over. I'm washed. Yeah, it's so real.
Oh my god. Dude, I think I have like an orgasm just now. I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. Shit.
Damn. I didn't get to put a lot of. Oh, it was good, chat. How we feeling? How we doing? What's the mood for today? Riverdale itself is just really strong, I think. Mitts, hey! Really glad to see you. Okay, let me see. I'm hella excited for tomorrow because I'm gonna go watch the new My Hero movie. I was talking to Lily and the others about it earlier. I'm not a huge My Hero fan, don't get me wrong, but I'm just a movie guy. I love going to a shared chat. Oh, what was that? Host can enable shared chat. Shared chat is a fun way. Okay. Really good at cutting me. I might be. Oh, actually. Let's see.
I
turned
also got another key.
Oh wait, hold up. Let me turn my gain up. Maybe that'll help. You got a key? What?
Got another key.
Whoa. I need to learn how to route audio because I got a really like expensive DAC recently, and like I don't know how to fucking work it with my interface.
Well, I
back.
wish I knew what that meant.
I'm
right?
back.
Me too, bro. I'm just saying.
I'm back. Did I mute
Welcome back.
myself? I
Yeah.
didn't mute myself.
Nah, you're good, bro.
It's a good thing. I wasn't, yelling some crazy ass shit over there, moaning or anything. Thank you. Her.
Dickens. What's murky reagent? That's like the.
Mercury reagent makes like the mist around the map like a lot thicker, so it's harder to like see things. It works both ways. The killer can also fuck you over this way.
That's interesting.
Should I
It's
do a
Asian
no
hair.
mither like shit ass build?
Yes. Yes.
I didn't get to use blast mine at all. Okay, so no mither. All right, you heard it here, folks. So I'm running distortion, Windows, no mither, and then life. So if I get snuck up on, I'm cooked. But basically, I just hate how my fucking blood gives me away so much, dude. Maybe my quality was decent. Well, I mean,
Here, I'll
my
try
mic is
this.
fine.
Let's see.
I'm just really bad at
fine
fine tuning. I clicked the shared chat option on the fucking Google Chrome, and it just gives me like a notification, and that's it. It does not tell me shit. Crazy. Invite guests. Wait, is Moses streaming?
Nah.
Real.
I thought you said you were.
No, I'm chilling today.
Real.
I got like too addicted to Stardew Valley, so I
Real.
was streaming a lot the past couple days.
Very real.
Automatic gain control on Twitch. Hello. Allow what? Use my camera.
Survivor gains the endurance. Status effect for 6 seconds.
Desktop audio capture.
That's pretty cool.
Streaming software. Okay, hold up. Send audio with your camera. No. The fuck? That's wild. Maximum quality. Give me that good stream shit. Yes, sir.
That's crazy. That's fucked up. Tink.
Maybe I should clean my room tonight.
Said that, and then I
Got
found,
blinded
like,
Nicolas Cage.
so many cool things that I got distracted cleaning my room.
Real.
Yeah, Nick Cage. Hi, Michelle.
I didn't realize that Nick has like so many good outfits in this game.
Nick Cage.
I really need to start playing Killer though, for real.
Nah, you need to start playing Nick Cage.
You're right.
For my 13 Nights of Halloween stream, I'm gonna do solo killer stream.
Ooh.
Oh, Hell yeah, bro. I'll watch that shit.
Dude, I suck at killing. There's no way I'd be able to play that shit.
I'm gonna be they're gonna make fun of me. I hope nobody is streaming when they play
I
that. 'cause
know.
you're
They're
just
gonna be like,
yo,
dude,
this
person
killer's trash.
suck. Yeah.
And you still miss a skill check?
I'm like, fuck.
Please.
I really am the type to just like learn one person or killer and then that's it. Just stay.
Oh yeah.
Honestly,
Is it like
honestly.
learning all their different perks and shit is just too much.
I don't need versatility. I need consistency.
It's versatility.
Real.
Oh, okay, shut up.
It's shut the fuck up, my dude. It's shut the fuck up. Crazy.
Oh my.
All right, I got no my. I should have put fucking resilience. I'm cooked.
Oh, I love this map. It's so much fun getting.
I hate
cheese.
this map,
Oh my
bro.
God, the Nicolas
Look how
Cage
so
resort.
pretty.
Map kind of cheeks on God.
Cheeks like butt cheeks.
Mosu, are you
Yes.
standing still?
Oh, sorry. I was like trying to like.
Okay,
Think
great.
what
Well,
cheeks meant.
whoever. Oh my goodness, I have no idea who it is.
Oh, it's that ugly guy again. I mean, not ugly.
Wesker?
Annoying.
Wesker?
Wesker.
Yeah.
Mr. Whiskers.
Come here, Mr. Kitty Cat. Come here, Mr. Kitty Cat. Kitty, 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 kitty cat.
Come here, kitty.
Come here, kitty cat. Meow meow. Meow
That was
meow.
crazy.
Meow
Oh
meow.
hell. Wesker, do not come back here. I swear to God.
Meow meow.
This was Mosu still. Wasn't
Oh, he's coming.
Wesker? Wesker's the one that has like a million radius, terror radius, right?
No, that's not
Yeah.
a perk specific to him, but
Did you get scared, other Nicolas Cage? Like, what the fuck?
Oh, there's two Shazam.
I don't know where they're coming from.
he's chasing me.
Oh, I don't know where you're. Oh, I found out where you're coming
This-
from.
This map feels smaller.
It's pretty big.
This map in general is kind of crazy.
I'm about to toss down like every fucking pallet. I swear to God.
Do it. You might as well. How do you get up that high?
Oh fuck! I ran into a rock. I'm dead.
How do you get up that
Oh,
high?
you missed,
how do
you
you
missed.
go all the way up there?
Oh my God.
What
Jenny.
the fuck?
Get the
Ew,
Jenny. Get the
how'd you
Jenny.
get
I
up
swear to
there?
God, I'm fucking looping this guy, bro.
Who fucked it up?
Okay, well, I didn't know how to
Damn!
get up there, so I'm just
Does
gonna
that
go
even
to
hurt?
the other
Oh,
Jenny.
swag.
Are you
We're
on
back.
the hook?
No, I'm not. Bye. I should have flashed his ass. Fuck.
And you still flash his ass?
So Wesker only hurts you if he like throws you into something, and his ass did not throw me into something.
Hi, Raptor.
Oh shit, I'm cooked.
There's something about this game and like
I-
playing and running through your life, and I enjoy that old man Bill has a cig in his mouth.
It's very real of him, you know?
Wait, what is this guy doing? Oh my God, that's diabolical!
What?
But this Nicolas Cage just dropped a flashbang right in front of Wesker and
Oh my
just
God.
fucking freed my ass.
Hell
That's hella
yeah.
Is he the
Hell
background
yeah.
player flashbang? That's crazy.
Alien shit.
He saved my fucking
Is it
life.
with a
You're my
what is a
best friend.
flashbang? Oh, I see.
Yeah, yeah.
You can
It's,
be-
it's basically
Oh.
like a flashlight.
But covers more ground essentially.
It's more like a. It doesn't cover more ground, but it's like a contained explosion. Really.
You kind of need to heal yourself, buddy.
I know. I got the vaccine. Thank you, Johnson and Johnson.
Dude, the 1 million points miner is ridiculous. I prestige like 2 characters for it.
Bro got led on a chase for like 3 minutes, and then fucking we got 3 gens out of it.
It's pretty insane, actually.
I'm exposed.
Oh, you don't want to be.
I don't know how to get all the way up here. What the fuck?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Meow meow.
Oh shit, he's heading this way. That's crazy.
I get scared.
Oh, you're exposed too.
I thought I could jump off of
Lily,
it
can
that
you get,
side, but
Nick?
I
I'm getting, yeah, I'm
can't.
getting Nick.
Okay, swag.
Nick
I'll see if I
getting
can head to
Nick.
go get Mosu as soon as this the hook gets decided, I guess. Words.
Oh shit.
Damn, he really had me pressing space there for a second.
Oh man, I was pressing space so hard.
Oh shit! Well, that's okay.
His dash ability can happen twice. Just a heads up. Oh,
Didn't
okay,
even need to. Didn't even need to. I didn't expect him to dash right at me.
I'm on my way, Mosu. I'll heal you along with the cool Nicolas Cage.
Pork mutton chops, Nicolas Cage.
Under Nick Cage's rib cage.
Oh fuck, he's coming. Oh god.
Under
Okay.
Nick Cage's rib cage, nar.
The Nicolas rib cage go crazy.
Is he going up?
I don't know, dude. I'm fucking terrified. Okay, I'm going for Lily.
That's thank you so much for taking your folks on tour.
Oh, okay,
Hello,
he's
friends. My
chasing
name's Elena.
other
Let's
Nick
jump, but it's
Cage.
like a
That's
geography and
diabolical,
we're
actually.
kind of dying. It's okay.
Like nefarious, even like Curse of Rock.
Are they
type
on the
shit.
roof?
They're inside the building. Wait, where the fuck am I? Oh god.
Buddy, buddy.
Dementia, like,
Buddy,
run,
you good?
run.
No!
God.
This bitch. Somebody gave me protection though. That was great. Thank you.
Well, no, that's because you got off the hook.
Oh, is that normal?
Yeah, you get for 10 seconds after you get unhooked, you can take a protection hit. Bro, oh my gosh.
What the fuck?
Wait, is that you coming over here or is that him coming over here?
This bitch. Fuck it.
Oh my god, I keep fucking it up.
I'll see you.
Come on, Mosu, you got this.
God damn it. Ah! This girl's not even hot!
I might actually go for No Mither Gaming.
Huh?
He got me, he got me.
I don't know what any
It's-
of that
oh,
means, but
shit.
Slam, come get me.
I'm coming.
Awkward.
So basically, No Mither makes it so you always
Nick got it.
are injured. Oh, but he's chasing you guys, so be careful.
I'm trying to go, bro. No way you're fucking. No way you're fucking.
Be free.
Yay.
Now run, follow me. That is not following me. Okay. That was about as
Okay,
close.
I was confused. Oh,
You had me worried, bro. It's like, okay, it runs a completely different area.
the
direction.
opposite direction.
Yeah, you can't heal me, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
But you can lead me to the gen you were working on. Was it up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah,
even
we
know
can
how to
go.
get to the one up there for real.
You gotta go into the building, and then there's like a
Another
broken
one
down.
in the
Like a-
building. Oh, how the
it's
game's
like a
been? The game's been actually
biological-
okay. Uh-oh, well that's not good.
I do like that generator up there. That generator's fun.
It's just really easy to see
Yeah.
everything and everyone.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. You feel safe there a lot of the time. Oh hell,
Yeah, that's the one I
Not
keep getting
Nick.
fucked up on.
it's all good. We can focus on it while this guy targets the other cage.
Exposed?
Careful. Oh, that's probably friends. Starstruck.
It's
Oh, boy.
Starstruck.
Okay. Oh, I'm already one hit. So what's the worst thing that can happen?
Wait, this is the wrong thing I'm supposed to be getting. Where the fuck is the
Almost
other one?
done. Almost
All
done.
the way over there.
All right, got it.
I think you're closer to. I'm gonna open the door because y'all are closer.
Yeah,
over there.
go ahead. Pew!
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna try to lead him away
Uh-oh.
from you guys.
Oh what? But who's gonna get
Oh.
Nick?
Damn,
Oh shit.
I'm down.
Oh shit.
It's fine.
You want me to just 99 it?
Yeah,
Okay,
we need to get Nick.
we're getting Nick. Oh fuck,
bro,
dude!
the
I don't even
basement?
know if we have Nick. Like if we can get Nick on time.
My first fucking hook is basement, bro.
Shit.
But
That's insane. Fuck, we gotta go get Nick.
Yeah, he's
going
gonna.
around this back way.
He's gonna come right back up. Oh my god,
Yeah,
oh
he's
my god,
gonna
oh my god, oh my god. Oh shit! A life or a life! A life or a life! Unfort. The gate is 99! The gate is 99!
I'm
Just
happy to
grab
take
him
the
and
chance.
just grab Slam and get out.
Nah, I have to take
Slam
the
is
chance.
hooked.
I have to take the chance.
Why?
Because there's no way. He's
You
camping
sure?
me. He's camping
Oh, he's
me.
camping? Okay.
Yeah. He literally came
Oh.
down here just to make
That's
sure that
lame.
nobody would try to save me.
I'll be honest, I'm
Well, when
trying to
he-
get to be killer against you. Why? Why would you do this to me? What do you mean?
Lame.
Just leave. Yeah. yeah.
Lame.
It's like when you play that badly, you gotta take what you can get.
Yeah. Understandable. It wasn't too bad. It
Oh.
wasn't too bad.
Yeah, no, it was a pretty good game.
It
Two
was
of us
pretty
got out, so I
balanced, yeah.
consider that a W. Where was this perk?
All on 2 hooks.
Awakened awareness.
You guys are both.
So when he carries people, he can see the aura of other survivors within 20 meters.
Oh.
Oh, he's a TTV.
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Iron Grasp, Mad Grit. You suffer no cooldown for missed basic attacks. What's the range?
One of the last
cherry.
times you're on stream, why wouldn't I want to inspire some clips? I'll hate you if you do.
Let me see if I can get a
I'm
gen
just
focus
kidding.
build.
I'll just get upset, that's all.
Alright, so for this diabolical build.
Bro, I'm gonna close knock. It's not worth it for me. I was barely using it. I was like, huh?
Honestly. Yeah, no, you're good.
It's so weird.
Yeah. It's hella weird. Probably is using up more resources than it need to, too. Whoa.
Exactly. Maybe that's why my Dead by Daylight crashed.
Oh, I mean, was it at that time?
I
thought it
think
was
so. I don't know.
Crazy. Alright.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
Oh, wait, Gen
Dude,
fuckeries.
Kick dropped a
Uh-huh.
VTuber hat asset and said we
Kick?
like VTubers. Kick. Like Kick streaming.
That's crazy.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Literally says VTubers. Yes, we like VTubers. Just say, buddy, I promise you, it's not you, the platform. It's the people that watch you, my dude.
Yeah, no, 100%.
That's insane.
It actually is diabolical.
Oh, it's because of the hips thing that Twitch did. So they used that opportunity, I think. Night or Singularity? I don't know. What are we playing?
Singularity is a super turbo, like, try-hard killer. Like, once you get used to him, he's scary as fuck.
Okay, Night it is, Minor. Miner's saying he's trying to get our lobby. And so he's saying, like, if we get him, who would we prefer, Night or Singularity?
It's crazy.
My God.
Your
We're
mom.
gonna get absolutely clapped if he's Singularity.
Perfect. It's Night it is. Bung, bung. Bung, 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 bung. Pa, 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 pa. Bung, 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 bung. Holy shit. And then somebody on YouTube here literally has a video that says all of my past HoloLive and auditions. That's insane. It's 18 minutes. That's fucking insane.
Oh my God.
Okay, you know what? Shout outs to you.
It's a lot of audition.
Not real. Not impossible.
All right, so I'm gonna need to stick to somebody because I have a gen rushing build and it's, in theory, okay.
Rush this.
That's crazy.
Dance grab. What is this even? Oh, cool. I should probably start using other things so that I don't have to continuously use this offering and can use better offerings. Hmm?
I was just probably thinking the same thing. Ooh, salty lips.
Not the salted lips, right?
There's something about Dwight that makes me want to bully him.
Real.
And not in like a funny, cute way. In just like a actually
Shove him in a
mean
locker
way.
type way.
Yeah, shove him in a locker type way. I think it's just...
It's because he's got that stupid jacket tied around his waist.
Bro, if you have a jacket tied around your waist, I'm shoving you in a locker.
Not the salty lips.
Sorry.
Yeah.
That's insane.
The salty lips is crazy. Thank you for the 3% higher chance to unhook myself.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Dwight being bullied is basically his
I'll
entire
make sure to
backstory.
try.
You know what? I can see why. He seems kind of like a bitch.
Real.
I'm just kidding. I'm gonna get canceled, bro. I'm gonna get canceled 3 days before I go on
3
hiatus.
days is crazy.
Oh my god, let me start the hashtag, please.
Start cancel Lilybell? Oh,
Cancel
dude.
Lily.
Cancel
That's
Lilybell
crazy.
is a crazy ass hashtag to fucking start on
That's
the 3
wild.
days before I go on hiatus. It's honestly so crazy that I'm genuinely considering that shit, man. Hold on.
Honestly.
That's some dumbass shit I would do.
Words.
That is.
That's some dumbass shit I would do. Maybe I'll do that like on my hiatus. like in my award show, which is on Sunday, everybody. Please come.
Yo.
Sunday.
Sunday.
Make sure to Sunday.
Exactly. During there, it's like a call to action. It's like, okay, now everybody tweet hashtag cancel Bell.
Yes.
Oh. I'm near the killer already.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna
Damn,
tell-
that sucks for you, bro.
What? I don't like this map.
This is the Castlevania map,
It's
right? Or the
fucking-
D&D
it's
map?
fucking- Yeah. Fucking Huntress.
Ew. It is funny though. It would be a very interesting thing to do. Like my goodbye hashtag is actually just hashtag. Excuse me.
Damn.
That was somebody screaming.
What? Hex Huntress Lullaby? What is that?
Oh, that's a really interesting pick for a perk.
What is it?
It's not that good. I can honestly, it's so not that good that honestly I kind of fucking don't know what it does. Like it's just not used. It's like one of Huntress's base perks.
Can I get you here?
Oh my god, can I like hit anything ever?
I can. What the hell?
Oh, Mosu? Where are you? Upstairs or
Buddy, do you
downstairs?
want me to fucking
I'm
heal
out
you or
in the
not,
woods.
bitch? This is
Woods
why
is
you're
crazy,
bullied,
yeah.
bro. You
Oh my God, they
this
got
is why
like
you're
a
fucking
big
bullied,
map.
bro. Okay,
They
forget
do
it.
have.
Fuck you.
It's a Were Elk skin.
What the fuck, man? I was trying to heal you. Fuck you. This is why you're bullied.
Real.
Dumbass.
I'm about to get cooked.
The last stream is not a band speed run. It would only be like a funny hashtag, I think.
That's crazy. I forgot. I
Oh my
don't have
God,
windows
that
of
was so
opportunity.
close. Holy shit.
Damn. Huntress is like my worst pick for this fucking map. Oh, just Huntress is because with this build.
It's not like you knew.
I know, right?
Oh my god, 2?
I need somebody to work on gens with me because we could probably finish one stupid fast.
I am
Oh,
sorry.
shit.
I'm working on all the gens
Oh,
underneath.
fuck.
Underneath, okay.
Yeah.
Is anyone coming?
Wait, Slam, where are you?
Oh,
Upstairs, upstairs.
You're upstairs? Oh, I see you. You're like just right
I
on
don't
top
think
of
I'll
me.
be
Let me
going
just
anywhere
go get
anytime
you.
soon.
Okay, so Mosu's clapped. I can't get healed. Oh, wait,
You
hold
can't
up.
get healed? What? What are you saying? Oh, you're
That
off
is my
now?
perk.
You're off now? Where's Mosu? Mosu.
We gotta go. We gotta fucking move, bro.
I'm fighting for my life on the hood.
Oh, I see you.
I want to bully
I'm
Dwight too. What the fuck,
hurt.
bro? That shit was dog.
Damn.
Bro almost got me
I'm
clapped.
not even joking. She has not really come down to shit. Where the fuck are you? Oh, you're over there.
I'm looking for you right now.
Me?
I'm just hanging out over
Or
here.
Mosu?
Yeah.
Oh, I went to go
Are
get
you in the-
Mosu, bro.
Oh, okay, okay. Oh, damn.
Oh my god,
I see your gen. I fucked up the fucking toolbox part. I'm crying. What the
I
fuck?
hear this
Okay,
thing.
calm down.
Okay, okay. So she has some diabolical perk.
What is the diabolical perk?
Basically, it makes it so if you fuck up a skill check, you lose like 20% progress. I forget
Shit.
which one that is. Is it Pop Goes the Weasel?
Pop goes the weasel, I think.
Goes
Yeah.
the weasel.
Oh, I see the hex.
Kill it. Is this it, the lit one?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Basement is nefarious. He hates this guy.
What the fuck is he? Oh, are you down here though?
Nah. Alright, hex is
What is
abolished.
that noise?
Okay, in that case, I'm
That
gonna
is
go get
hex.
the. I'm gonna go get the dude.
When you cleanse a hex, that is the sound it makes.
I'm gonna try to go get the dude. How the fuck do you get to basement here? Jesus Christ.
Oh shit.
How the fuck did they know I was
Oh,
there, bro?
that means it's
I
right
say
here.
as if I have any perks to fucking escape
So,
that
yeah,
shit.
exactly. Fuck,
Brothers
dude.
have,
I don't know if
I don't
can
have any
even
stealth
make it,
perks.
bro.
man.
To get the dude? I don't know. Better I try than not, though. Actually, maybe
Oh,
I'll be
no.
able to make it. Just oh, fuck. Just barely, maybe.
Nah, we're clapped.
We're clapped.
Fuck, that scared the shit out of me.
Worth it. Oh, shit. Nah, that guy fucking got
What was
clapped.
in that cage?
Oh, what the hell? Oh, what's good, bro? Ouch.
Shit. Shit.
If we die, it's okay, bro.
Yeah, this thing sucks. It left me.
Oh, wait.
Mosu, I'm crying.
Nar.
Yeah, what's good, Jose?
Nar.
When we gonna play Call of Duty, dog? Okay, yeah, I'm just gonna die.
I'm sorry.
Oh.
It's fine, bro. This game is chalk.
Okay.
GG, go next.
Thank you. Next. Thank
When
you.
my internet stops being
Next.
trash. Damn.
Thank you. Next.
I'm so fucking
How the fuck did you? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Oh, he landed a shot or something?
No, I like went to go hide and my like blood was already gone, but shit. Mosu, it's really hard to
What?
get me, so you're gonna have to escape, okay?
Shit.
Okay?
Yeah, no, the basement is nefarious.
It's nefarious. I'm gonna kill myself. Just stay hidden and try to find Hatch. Because it's unlikely.
Okay.
Yeah. Because it's unlikely that we're gonna both get out properly. Oh, what the hell? You were already here? Fuck. That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. I did not know you were
I
already
was
here.
like, wait. I was like, wait. Okay, it's okay. Fuck.
That's okay. Just be safe. You're good. You got this. I thought you were like still like on the on the like bottom floor. That's why I was like, don't
Annoying.
go, don't come. I didn't realize you were already here, but we're good. Because you're gonna survive. That's what makes you good.
Find that hatch.
How will I know if there's a hatch?
You gotta listen
It
for
has
the
a little
sound.
sound, yeah.
Never mind, it's
Oh,
over.
Never mind, as they open the hatch. Or they close the hatch.
Oh.
Oh! It was literally
Oh.
right there in front of the door. That's diabolical. That's genuinely diabolical.
So mean.
That's actually awful.
That's fucked up.
Nobody would ever consider that, bro. Alright, that's drinks. This is a 4K. Oh no, they're
Is this a-
mooring you. They're mooring you! Are they mooring you?
Is it?
Oh. Oh. Oh my gosh, she's doing the dance. Oh, is she doing the dance? She's doing the
I'm
dance.
doing the dance. The dance.
She's
My
doing the dancey
ancestors.
dance, bro.
The dance of my ancestors.
I think they're telling you to go to the gate. Oh, never mind.
They're mooring it!
No, they're mooring me. That's not nice.
That's Jinx. Cheers. That was a 4K.
Damn,
Man.
cheers.
That's a crazy Maury.
What the fuck?
I didn't even notice. I was too busy drinking. What happened?
Real, hold up. I need to go. Oh, you only had 3 perks too. Oh,
Don't say
that is
shit,
such
man. I feel bad.
I fucking knew there was a perk. So basically, what's it? Survivor's auras are revealed to the killer for 6 seconds when they enter the basement.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, so they would see you
Oh, that's fucked up.
anytime you go into the basement.
That's fucked up.
But the fact that they put us there, GG's, nah. Beast of Prey. Is it just base? Yeah, that's literally base Huntress, like no other perks. And then Huntress Lullaby is a regression penalty when you miss a skill check. Adept, man. But yeah, like they were able to find my ass, like
They got a
even
deck.
after I
I don't even know
like
what the
cleansed their
fuck
hex.
that is.
Let's see, my build is great when the killer fucking is not the Huntress. If it's the Huntress, I'm cooked.
Try it again then.
I don't know about that. Let me see, what other gen perks do I have, if any? I don't have the character. Well, I mean, I have 2 fucking million blood points. I could fucking stand to use them. Who should I?
Freaking
unlock?
show off. 2 million blood points.
Yeah. I just save like crazy. You know what? I really like Fogwise. Let me get Victoria.
Excuse me.
The burp.
That's so good.
Timing of the
I'm
perk.
jealous.
Thank you.
I wish
That was
I
a
could
good burp,
burp
though.
like that.
Oh my god, Zia. Okay. I got rated. What a great. You heard that shit too? That's crazy.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Nice projection. Thank
that's
you very
crazy.
much. I promise I don't try.
The way I'm struggling. Okay. Silent Hill 2. Oh yeah, I saw you posted a tweet about that. How was Silent Hill 2? I was like gonna get it and then $70.
All natural talent. Dude, it's all the fucking drink. What do you mean?
Couldn't get my controller to work. Oh shit. Okay. Damn. All good, bro. I hope you had a great stream though. Yeah, I'm so sad. I mean, there's always next time. But thank you for the raid. I really appreciate you sharing your community with me.
Woo! Raid, raid, raid.
Yeah.
Stick around, you guys. There's more burps where that came from.
Real. I need to go grab more alcohol.
Do
Out of
it.
the game so far, I just had like the worst game ever, dude. I was using like a no mither build, and then the enemy was Huntress, so I was cooked.
And you had to rely on me at the end.
Ah, you were good. You're good.
You're good, bro. Don't worry about it. As much as I dog on you, mostly you're not bad at the game.
Oh my god.
No!
That's such a weird way
feel
to
like
say
I'm-
that. You're not bad. Just so you know.
You live. You get genius.
It's for the bit. I dog for the bit.
My god, I did that. You could have different loadouts.
Oh my god.
Holy shit.
Blows up.
Hold on, you guys. I have to send this. It's a little not safe for work, but
Well,
I don't know. I just feel like you guys would understand.
probably.
Oh, see, this I understand a lot.
See,
This was a true couple's costume right here.
That's
That's what's
yeah,
up.
absolutely.
He just needs to be shirtless, and it's perfect.
Mm.
No, I actually like it better when he has the shit on, honestly.
Oh,
Believe it or not.
Okay.
Just a mask.
The
a
cloak
cloth
stays on.
and Mask.
Yeah, the cloak stays on, bro.
Is that the sound you make when you get hooked?
It's the sound I make when I stretch.
You obviously.
Aw. The sound I make when I get hooked depends on who's hooking me. Depends on who's hooking me. Am I right?
She's real for that.
Bro, I'm not shy.
real.
I'm not shy about nothing.
It works. No mither works sometimes, bro. It's just
Mm.
freaking. I hate blood. Like, it gives me away so much.
I
Like,
know,
I'll jump-
it sucks.
I'll jump into a locker and then the killer will just follow my blood, and then I'm just like, wow, I'm cooked.
Okay, but are you the hooker or the hooky?
That's crazy. Oh, actually, let me change this fucking build. Actually.
Definitely
That
the
was-
hickey.
That's crazy.
Wink. God.
The wink is crazy. I'm too used to Windows of Opportunity. I'm fucking useless without it. It cries. He's so base for that, real.
I'm actually quite sad. I want a black
About?
cat so that they can get all the Halloween black cat like merch and just match them, you know? Do I say
Yeah.
merch as if they're not just full products?
That would be so cute. Black cats in the spooky time.
I know, so
They
cute.
have
Oh,
a whole
okay.
spooky season.
Having fun, Ozo. Let's see. Resilient. Oh, you know what?
Minor,
This
thank
could be
you.
a strat.
Appreciate
This
it.
could be a strat. All right, give me a sec. If the game loads, whatever, I'm gonna look for a drink. I do got soju, but it's not the best soju. God damn.
Yeah. Hi, Vex. Hello, hello. Oh, right when he said that.
Yay! Claudette, you better pull through.
Claudette better pull through. Loretta, I say
We've had some real slackers on this team.
It's Slam. Slam's a slacker.
Yes, yes.
Hey, do you think he has like wireless headphones?
Shit. Slam's gone? I was fully saying that thinking Slam was there.
Slam's gone. He went to go get Dwink.
Oh! See,
my
Slam, that's
God.
how you know I'm a real one. Prepared to say that.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
Hey!
I'm fucking cooked, bro.
Yeah.
I got
Oh, really?
soju. I got soju, and it's like the off-brand soju.
Oh no.
Oh, I can't even like look at those packagings anymore.
The only like Sunhari soju I have is the peach one, and I hate the peach one.
Okay, well actually that's just on you then, buddy.
That's coming from somebody that loves peaches too. It just does not taste. Like,
Yeah, I sure
I-
love peaches
I
too.
feel like personally
Yeah.
peaches I can't taste. I don't like the drink flavor of like peach things. If that makes sense.
It does.
It makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not like a real, it's not like it actually is the proper flavor of it, right?
Yeah, like it is. If I feel like it's peach, like flavoring is the same
It's
as like
artificial
banana
peach
flavoring.
something.
Yeah. it's
Yeah.
Do you
something.
guys like peach rings?
Oh hell yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Oh
that's
yes,
interesting.
I like the yellow part though, the fluffy.
What the fuck,
weird,
man?
Fluffy gummy part.
Killer.
Already?
It's Wesker. It's fucking. What is up with all these
What is
Weskers?
up with the Weskers, bro?
I'm just gonna run myself into this wall until somebody's sexy.
Oh my god. Am I gonna have to loop you too, brother?
Loop him, loop him.
I'm trying. Bro, I'm gonna be real with you, Wesker. You should be chasing anybody else right now.
Why?
Because I'm just literally. Oh yeah, he left me alone.
Oh,
Fuck.
who did that?
I let him on
That
a
was
chase for
them.
like 30 billion years.
I like how we're just like standing here building. Oh yeah.
Building is crazy.
A building.
Bro is playing Fortnite.
I literally got stuck running into him. Oh,
Oh no.
Not Mosu.
And they're tunneling Mosu. That's crazy.
What the dude? Fucking. I hate this map. I've gotten stuck like 3 times now.
Yeah, dude. Honestly.
it's a fucking rock.
Yeah, on the logs, I think.
Is it like Wesker season or some shit, bro?
Yeah, what the fuck is with the Weskers, bro?
Oh shit.
What if it's the same
don't
Weskers?
worry.
That's unrealistic, right?
It's crazy.
Hey, is somebody gonna grab Mosu?
He's okay. I will.
Yeah, you will. I'm already on a gen.
Okay.
First come, first serve.
Oh, he's over there. Okay, bro, why does he have such a big terror radius? Bro got no business having that big of a terror radius. All right, follow me, Mosu. This way. And then we'll hop on that gen. All right. Don't move. Oh.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Come on, come on.
Bro, okay, we need to get out of here.
Dude, his terror radius is so gigantic. What the fuck?
I felt that's what I'm saying. Like, I swear it's not normally this big.
Hee.
Bro, I see him. He looks like he's like 50 meters away, bro. Does he just have a naturally fat terror radius?
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Are you cleansing an actual hex or are you just cleansing?
No, I'm cleansing a. Yeah, it's lit. It's lit.
Oh my god. I wonder what it is. Maybe that increases his terror radius.
It's lit.
Haunted
And so am
ground?
I.
I'm exposed.
Yeah, why
bitch?
are we exposed? Didn't we just fucking?
But,
No, that's how it works. Haunted ground.
What?
oh my
when
god,
you cleanse
freaking
it.
hug.
What?
Yeah, when you cleanse it, expose. Like you deactivated the hex, but now it like punishes you for deactivating it.
That's fucked up. What the fuck?
There are a lot of hexes like that. Oh my god, we need to leave, Claudette.
Yes,
We're about to get cooked, bro.
I don't know where you guys are, but I'm on the complete opposite side of Mosu.
I can head over. I wanted to heal Claudette, but fucking he did not get the memo.
That's cool.
Oh, is she going for Mosu?
No, it's going for me.
No.
Well, I was wondering if Claudette was.
Oh,
gonna-
it worked. Shit.
No, Claudette is not pulling through.
The expose is almost over. Stop. He's chasing Lily, so we can heal.
Fuck. Just slightly off.
Is he running a hex build?
Is the Hex a killer perk? Yeah, it is.
Yeah. I think people run Haunted Ground with another hex perk. Mosu,
Oops.
we're cooked. He's gonna come straight here.
Oh fuck.
I like how you reacted so late to that.
I literally ran into him.
Okay, so we have a boon. Most is cooked.
I'm dead.
I just want one
That's
gen,
pretty.
dog.
That's
No,
pretty
he
tunnel,
left
bro. That's
me.
pretty fucking tunnel.
He left me. He
Is he-
left
Oh,
me.
really?
Now he's back. Yeah, now he's back.
Let me heal you, dog.
It's yeah. I just walked away a little bit. Jeez. Damn. Also, amazing
Oh, wow.
grace.
Grace.
How
Oh, man.
oh, sweet the sound. I'm gonna take like the full way around, bro. Why the hell do I?
Yeah,
Oh,
Actually, I need to stick with you because one of my perks requires me to have somebody working on a gen with me.
oh, what is that?
That
Damn it,
is
there
for.
rift?
Yeah, it's like a thing.
I wanna heal you, bitch.
Me too, bitch. Bag. All right, let's fuck up the gen. Damn. Oh my god. He knows we're here.
That's not right.
That's slut behavior.
Oh my god, he's like, oh, you ready to him.
Okay,
I hate
so
the way that Nick runs when he's like slightly hurt.
oh
He
man.
just oh shit.
Oh my god, you did it again.
Wow, unfortunate. Oh no.
By all means, that should have been a way out. Ugh, by all means, that should have been a way out. Damn it.
He's already here.
God, dude, I don't want to see another fucking Wesker for the rest of
I
my
know.
life after tonight.
The Wesker curse.
You fucking knew I was here? That's diabolical.
That's diabolical, dude. You better check his fucking. I think he's running a
That's funny.
hex build probably. He's doing some shit I ain't seen for a
Oh,
bit.
damn.
Wow, he picked you up and pushed you against the wall.
He cabined onto me, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, we're not getting out, but at least I can get my fucking heal points, bro.
Bro is like trying way too hard.
I owe you one.
Let me see. Trying to remember exactly what Haunted Ground does.
Just one. One. We only need one, damn it.
I know, right?
Oh my god, we didn't get a single Jenny.
We did not
No.
get a single Jenny.
I've been on hook duty this whole game.
Majority of us have. We just keep like passing it off to each other.
God, I wonder who keeps getting hooked. Tisk tisk.
Oh, what the fuck? There's a wall there.
It's honestly all of us, honestly. Okay, Andres needs to
and
go get you,
tunneling.
man. I'm
Yeah, no,
making
Andres
some
has
work.
been-
Andres, go get.
This is like the
fucking-
first time I've seen them.
Hindered? Hindered? Bro,
That's crazy.
this bitch got some hexes. I ain't never seen that shit. That's a hex for sure.
Oh my god.
This is about to be another drink, bro. This is a 4K. I can
I got
feel it in my
you.
brain. Is
I'm gonna
Andres
go ahead
coming
and
for you
die.
or no?
No, I'm gonna go ahead and die, bro. This
Why?
is, it's cooked, bro.
No!
It's just so
At least
good.
give me time to finish my gen first,
Okay.
bitch.
Okay. I don't think he's gonna wait, but okay.
He ain't around here.
Oh, Claudette's going for you.
Oh,
Yeah,
at
because I
that.
forced it.
Andres got it.
Oh, they're here. Yep. The way he's standing is crazy.
He's so menacing. He's going after you too.
That's what I'm
Good night,
saying.
Dev. Have a good one. Dev
Damn,
says
I
good
could
night to
not
everyone.
drop that shit.
Yay, one gen! Dev
Nice.
says good night, you
Yay!
guys.
Oh, damn. That's nefarious. You should mori them, not me.
Night.
Oh, you can't mori me. Yay.
Dev says good night.
Good
That's
night,
crazy.
guys.
Thank you.
It looks like Claudette ran like a flashlight save build, but they can't get the flashlight to go off.
Flashlights are really difficult looking.
Are you gonna hook me? Oh, he's body blocking. Okay, I
You're
gave up.
spraying
on
yourself. Okay, get a little bit of
Get a
cologne
yeah.
up in there. Yeah.
Exactly. Just need a. He sounds like he's nearby.
I want to see his perks, because I do not understand why Weskers have such huge tear radiuses.
These perks are nefarious for real. I hate that the boon has the same sound as the hatch.
Yeah.
That's gonna fuck me over.
It's like a similar
What
one.
the
and it
fuck
fucks
is
me.
that?
Oh, that's
it's
what it
another one.
It's a
sounds like.
vaccine. I'm trying to think what that perk is. It's like something hysteria. I think?
Mysteria.
Mysteria.
On in a night. Hysteria.
Is this derby? No, that's a different one. He did do something.
Found him.
Oh man. It's like he always knows where, like,
Damn it.
and he tunnels too.
He tunnels
'Cause, like-
fucking hell, bro.
Bro, he straight up like did 3 hooks on me. He did 3
Oh
hooks.
my god.
Did you
He
see
really
that
did that
shit?
to you. Yeah.
But yeah, he did 3 hooks on me, like, and every time I was getting unhooked, he would show up.
God fucking bitch, bro.
All right, Andres. show
I
me
want to
what
know
you
if
got.
Andres gets hatched though.
They're working on a chest right now, which honestly is probably the last thing we should work on. And then he knows where they are.
No. I mean,
Oh,
can't
no,
you see
no,
what it is
okay.
right now, or no?
Let me see. Bro wants his 4K.
What the f- Oh, it doesn't show until he's done, or?
You want the perks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I was like, he's not running any?
No, no,
Oh
it's,
my gosh!
it doesn't
okay,
show.
Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, he got.
Yeah, he got
Hi, Pam.
hatched.
Thank you so much for taking your folks on tour. What the hell is? Oh, is Mouthwashing the horror game? Thank you for taking your folks on tour. Have a very good food. Hello, tourists. My name is Lily Bell.
Nope.
I love to travel, but I
Claudette's
suck at
done.
geography.
Oh,
And I am playing
Claudette,
Dead
you're
by
fucking dead.
Daylight.
Pretty much.
We are. This is a 4. It's actually Drunk by Daylight. I'm drinking.
They're trying so hard.
We're drinking a lot here, buddy. We keep getting Weskers, and I'm
They got
pissed
to like
off.
90%.
Genuinely. How was
I
what
knew
was the
it.
most? Oh my god. What was the most interesting part about mouthwashing?
Damn, that is brutal right there.
That's actually
That's
disgusting.
That's
Genuinely
too much.
disgusting. Your genes have been altered to heighten your senses in intense
Yeah,
situations.
so you can see the aura of survivors when carrying others. Haunted ground, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
haunted
so he did have a
ground.
second hex.
Thrill of the hunt. For each dull and hex totem remaining on the map, gain a token. The fuck? Your presence alone instills
Wow.
great. Survivors within your terror radius have a 10% chance of triggering skill checks when repairing or healing. Never mind. So I think he just has like a giant.
He might just have a naturally large one.
Yeah,
Oh,
it seems like
see.
everybody just.
Did you just say? Can you repeat that again, Slam? Just say that one more time, please. He might have a naturally large what?
Terror radius.
Who
Okay,
had white
yeah.
glyph?
Not me.
What the
It
hell
was
is a white
the
glyph?
Claudette. It's like a
Yeah, that was
challenge.
Claudette.
Oh.
And then he had no add-ons. That's crazy.
We just. Hey, cheers for the 4K.
Oh, and my game crashed. That's crazy.
Yeah,
Hold on.
awkward.
Ah! He
Oh
did
my
it!
god,
He got
it's
his
a crash!
Cheers for the 4K! Cheers for the crash.
For the game crash.
Like, let me look at Wesker.
Okay.
real quick.
Per usual, I spilled.
Oh wait, he does have a larger terror radius.
Ugh.
Fuck.
Yep.
40 meters is crazy. Like, who else? Like, I don't know many killers that have like a terror radius like that. Let me see. What about Wackula?
Wackula? How dare you? You mean Vamp Daddy?
Not the Vatty.
The Vatty? Vatty, 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 Vatty.
Vladdy the Impaler.
Vatty, Vatty the
Vladdy. Vladdy the Impaler, bro.
Oh gosh. It's funny.
Ugh. Yeah, soju is. Ugh. Cursed.
Alrighty, guys. What was tell me about
Whatever it
mouthwashing. I
takes
saw
to get a
something about
buzz.
it, but like, what is it? They like drink mouthwash and then y'all die, or what? Bum, bum, bum. No, seriously, I want somebody to remix this so bad. Dead
Real?
by Daylight. I'm gonna look at
It's probably, it has to exist.
the Dead by Daylight remix, song remix, theme remix. Oh, there's a cover, Fury Weekend cover. What the fuck?
Disturb 20 crows is a diabolical challenge.
There is Dead by Daylight remix. Somebody said
Yeah.
this is the best one.
That's crazy. Resilience was kind of useless because I was never
Oh
dancing.
shit! It goes hard.
Oh
Oh my
my
god, it goes so
God.
hard. I'm gonna drop the link right now.
Hell yeah.
Send it. Oh.
Alright, let's
That's
listen.
fire. What the hell? I'm gonna save that.
The font for Weekend made me think it was a The Weekend cover, and I was like, huh?
That's
This
crazy.
needs to
That's
play in
crazy.
club.
I know.
right
That's what I'm
now.
saying. It hits hard. Wait, that code? Yeah, the code.
Oh, it's Vaporwave?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, okay. Damn it.
Dude, you guys,
Did it
I
crash?
need something to I need to get something from Domo, and it was due 2 days ago, and I was like,
Oh.
I told him that day because I knew he's gonna take forever, and then yesterday he was like, oh shit, let me get it to you, and I'm like, that's fine. He was like, oh man, I'm tired. Can I get it to you tomorrow? And I'm like, yup. And I messaged again
Yeah.
twice today, every 4 hours, going, "Hey, boost just for viewing,
That's crazy.
boost for visibility, boost for visibility."
Boost for
I did-
visibility.
I did one at 4 and I did one at 8. And I'm about to do one at midnight right now, bro.
Midnight, yes. please.
Honestly. Do it.
Get one
This is
out
what
at 4
This is an
a.m.
automated message.
Get his
This
ass.
is an automated message.
Yeah.
What the hell? Did you leave also, Mosu?
I crashed, bro.
No, I was invited.
Yeah, I invited.
Oh,
You also get invited?
I thought you were just
Oh,
going to
you were.
join. I wasn't fucking invited.
I couldn't invite you.
Oh,
So-
you didn't invite Lily?
I know.
Bruh.
Could you believe
I-
that
bruh,
shit?
I
shared
tried.
you a
I thought
banger
Lily
too.
also. I thought
I-
Lily also got the invite. That's why I was like,
I tried,
okay.
bro. I tried.
It's okay. It's okay.
I'm cooked
I'll remember this forever, bro. But it's okay.
forever. It's crazy.
Oh.
Yeah, like next time we meet at like off Kai or something, you're gonna be like, remember that time when you didn't
Oh,
invite
you
me?"
think there's about to be a next time now? You think there's about to be a next time? I don't know. I'd meet
That's-
people
that's
that
crazy.
invite me next time. I don't know.
That's crazy.
Oh my god. I always feel like low-key bad because I do this to. Well, actually, no, I don't feel bad. I think it's funny, but I'm forever on Steam like invisible, so most people can't invite me to anything. And like they're always like, I can't find you, and I'm like, sorry. Let me just reveal myself. I'm here.
Let me
Reveal myself.
put myself out there for you real quick.
Exactly.
Jumps out of the.
I like remaining mysterious. What can I say?
It's to hold the mystique. I relate. I appreciate.
Yeah,
I fuck with it.
it's real.
All right, what perks do we got that I can get? I can get Nick Cage's twist. Whoa.
I want just the fucking banger version to. You know what? I'm just gonna keep the banger version playing while we wait. For
On
real.
loop, yeah.
That's real.
Dude, it's just so good.
Hold up. Dead. Bone.
Especially after hearing this version like a million times now.
Oh, I knew it. There's gotta be. I was like, there's gotta be a metal cover, bro. Okay.
Menu music? Goodbye. Turn that shit off. I don't care
The
about
way
the
that your
menu
menu
music.
music was all the way at 100 is so funny to me. I see
Excuse
that on
me?
your fucking stream.
I don't know. This is the menu, right? Or no?
Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, that's.
It's just, it's all the way to 100. That's so funny to me.
Oh, wait, there's a thing that says music producer rates all Dead by Daylight chase music. I'm actually quite interested in that.
Ooh. Wait, there's different chase music?
Yeah, they all have their own killer chase music.
Trevor. Yeah, they do.
That makes so much sense now.
Trevor?
That's how I'm able to detect who we're
That's
playing against.
insane, bro.
When I hear chase music.
Trevor with the long hair down, bitch has got a weave going on.
Ooh, look at that fit.
Right.
Okay, I fuck with this metal cover.
Let's see, what other ones? Dead by Daylight remix. 80s styles, that's not surprising. Is there one like... well, I can play at the fucking club for real? Like, I want to like twerk to it. I want to
That's
slap
crazy.
my own ass to it, bro.
Oh my god. That's when you know it's a real hit.
Yeah, when you when nobody else is about to slap your ass and you have to slap your own ass. Ooh. Okay. Real.
Okay, so one of us had a secret.
What do you mean one of us had a
Offering.
secret? Oh,
It was one
offering?
of us had a secret. Yes.
Let me
offering. So it's
I'm gonna
probably-
guess it's the fucking killer, honestly.
No, it's not the killer. The killer had a like more blood points for hunting or something like that.
Oh.
So probably was everybody spawns together.
Oh yeah, that was me.
No, I knew it.
Look, all my friends are here.
Perfect. Literally
Where the
right.
fuck are you?
All my friends are here. Can't fucking see nobody.
Wait, where are you guys? This isn't what I wanted.
I'm crying.
This isn't what I asked for.
Guys were cooked.
It's oh no. What is it? Who is it?
Fucking Huntress.
Oh jeez. In the longest hallway fucking map of all time. They're just hallways. All of it is just a shit ton of hallways.
The crustiest map. Oh, goodbye, Trevor.
It's perfect though. They spawned me literally right at my favorite gen.
Oh, nice.
Oh, you have a favorite gen on
On-
this map?
Yeah, on this map I have a favorite gen.
Is it on the second story?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Wait, is it the one by
Yeah, it's
itself? Like you can only work on it one person at a time? That
Yeah,
one?
yeah. Well,
Okay.
that's not the only one. The one
Here's
like
another
all
one.
the
I'm
way
on
in the
that
far.
one.
Yeah. It's the one like far all the way down.
Oh fuck, I fucked that one up.
Oh.
Oh shit, right there.
I'm so close.
Oh,
Do
is he-
not
is
come
he
here
trying to
this
get
quick,
me?
bro.
He's
Oh
trying
my
to get
God.
me through the...
I want to stick this gen. Anyone think they can get Trevor Belmonte corn?
Yeah, I would love to. Let me just try. Oh, what the fuck? Hey, what the fuck? How do you get out of here now?
I'm crying.
Oh, what the hell?
All right, I'm
Oh,
going.
what the fuck? Where the fuck is... Ah! I'm sorry. I didn't expect
Over
you to be
there.
here. My bad.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm heading over to
Shit!
get Trevor.
oh my god, I saw. Okay.
No way, bro. Hey, don't move, bro. Oh my god.
Fuck.
Bro. Please.
God. Fucked up, Justin. I'm so bad at like making that consistent.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck. Oh fuck.
What is that perk? Why can we see that?
Oh fuck. Yeah.
Oh shit, no. The fact that you went next down. Oh my god, down next to freaking Lily. Do not.
I'm not.
I swear to God.
Oh my god. Are you watching me, bitch?
I'm literally right here. Come on, we gotta run.
Oh.
Run. What are you running fucking that way, bro? Okay,
Bro,
whatever.
I'm running so that it's fine. I can heal
I'll take-
myself.
I'll
Don't
take
worry
it.
about it.
I think
bruh,
she's on her
if you
way
get,
to
if you
you
get
guys.
fucking.
Bitch, no fucking way. No fucking shot. Oh.
Oh damn, bitch. For word?
We're heard, bro.
She's fast as fuck. That's crazy.
Damn, she's fast as fuck.
Why?
She's fast
Wait,
as
who's
fuck.
she? Oh my god. Okay, yeah, she's thirsty.
She
Oh yeah, no,
crazy.
she can't pick me up because I'm right next to a pallet. And so if she picks me up,
What, she throws
No,
on the pallet or
Trevor.
something?
yeah, they could throw down the pallet to down. Do it.
Okay, where the fuck are you, Mosu?
Yeah, thank
oh,
you.
you're all the way over there. Alright, we're not getting... Oh, what the hell? Wait, 3 Jennies? Dude,
Yeah,
Trevor's
yeah,
been
get it,
doing
get it, get it.
work. What the fuck?
I did work too, bro.
Oh, well, somebody wants attention. That's okay, baby.
That's
Oh
crazy.
shit.
Where the fuck
Trevor
did you go?
dropped
I'm
me.
looking, I'm
Trevor, I
looking.
wasn't ready.
Keep chasing me, bro. See what happens. Pull out that hatchet. See what happens. That's crazy, bro. This is crazy, bro. Get looped, brother.
Oh, here, Mosu.
Oh.
I'm cooked. No, I wanted it. Fuck. Okay. No way, Trevor. No way, no way. Oh, you tried, bro. You tried. Yeah, he really tried. That's crazy.
I sure will say, on behalf of Trevor, yeah, I did try. Well, you talking to him is almost like he's right here.
He was trying to land the pallet again.
Oh fuck. I saw. Ah. Whoops.
Whoops! That's a drink for you, Mosu.
That was a total accident. That was a
That's
freak
what
of
makes it a
nature.
drink. Hey, I'm gonna go get him, actually.
Trevor's dead.
Oh, shit. Literally right next to you, too? Well, that's not fun.
Yeah.
That's not fun for me.
Well, now there's not even a skill check. Rude.
I'm coming, I'm
Damn.
coming, I'm coming, I'm coming, I'm coming.
On stream, bro?
Not the first time.
Okay, yeah, we gotta move.
We gotta go, we gotta go. Whoa!
Oh, yeah, help me up.
Are they just standing there? Or is somebody hooked?
Trevor's hooked.
Oh.
There's a way out. There's a way down? When has there always been? When has there been a way
Connection.
down, bro? Hello?
Oh, is he trying? That's crazy.
Oh, where the
Nah.
fuck is Trevor? Ah!
He is right next to me.
Ah! Ah!
Mostly you have to
Dear
focus on Jen.
Lord!
Okay.
Oh. Sick.
I'm running for my life. Is that an option? Oh fuck.
Dude, camping?
Oh boy, I might be cooked.
Oh no, you're here. Okay, okay. Somebody grabbed you. Oh my.
We need to get out of here.
Bro, y'all are getting fucking camped.
Yeah.
There's gotta be. Oh, bitch! Well, that's not good.
Is there a Jenny up here?
Oh shit, they went back there. Okay. Oh no. Mosu can't focus on Jennies because Mosu doesn't know where the Jennies are.
Where are they?
I'm trying. Okay,
Oh,
there's one over here in
fuck.
this corner. Oh, what the fuck? She knew I was here. Fuck. I'm cooked. This is it. I'm
This
dead.
shit is crazy.
I'm in the
Oh.
closet.
Oh shit.
Why are you in the closet?
You're in the closet.
Oh god. Well, yeah, this is my
Fuck,
death
dude.
hook. Unfortunately, I played that badly.
Dude, this is just unfortunate in general.
Yeah.
That's Huntress.
No, I just should have just like not went for Trevor when he was on hook. Cause I didn't see the Huntress was behind me, so I was like, okay, I can go for the save. But no, she was like right behind my ass.
Bitch!
Oh my god. Hold back.
No!
We'll be like, it's clutch time, and then blows up Jen. Oh, Nick has some funny dialogue.
Basement. Fucking bitch.
I think it's past the spleen, just north
James, thank you so much for continuing your first class. I very much appreciate it.
Yo.
That's right.
Is she coming over towards me? I feel like she is.
Damn. This the peak.
How goes the running and getting killed? Oh, we sure are getting killed.
No!
I feel like we've just got Huntress and Wesker, like, basically,
Yeah, no.
all night. Wesker's so fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Never play. Who the fuck? Aw, no. What the? Hey, for
That's
what
hella-
reason, bitch?
Actually, though. Mosu?
What's
Okay.
the point?
It's crazy.
Hey, for
What
what
was the
reason,
point?
bro? Did she drop you or no?
But yeah, she dropped
No.
her.
Oh,
Well,
and
no,
she-
like, Mosu should have broken free, right?
Mosu, did you break free or did she drop you? Because I think she was trying to get you. She kept
Like,
looking
Mosu's
at
running.
me.
I don't know. What am I supposed to do?
You gotta.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah,
Oh my
rip.
god.
Nice try.
Did she drop you or?
I have no. I think. Yeah. I don't know, but I was wiggling.
Because if she dropped you, then I think she tried to get you to help me. But
I'm not sure.
it's over now. That's a drink for 4K, and Mosu definitely got a miss skill check.
God, toxic.
哇，是用说英文。
It's always the Huntress players
Unfortunate now.
playing like their
How
careers are on the
serious.
line.
Rare.
So they had
Rare.
Hysteria. Becomes injured. Trail of
My
Torment.
hysteria. Hysteria.
Exit lockers.
You just what you like. Hysteria. What the fuck you mean no challenge selected? Are
I
you
was gonna
shitting
let
me?
both of you live.
Oh, she said that?
Yeah, they said in chat.
Can you help respond? Just be like, oh, she got confused.
We're stupid. Say we're stupid. Just say I'm stupid. Oh my god, I lost my network connection again.
That's crazy.
I think I might have to take that as a sign.
I feel that. It's been like almost 3
Yeah.
hours anyways, so
Yeah.
real. Thanks guys for the
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Now I gotta
thank
finish this
you.
whole fucking soju. I'm gonna end it all, bro.
Yeah!
Oh my god.
End the soju! You're right! End the soju!
True.
Unfortunate. Alright. Thank you so much, y'all. I love y'all
Thanks
so
for the
much.
games.
Y'all are the best.
Love ya.
Bye-bye.
Have a great night.
Everybody say
Bye-bye.
bye.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Team. Bye, team. Yes, please. Thank you. Please, please shout them out. They are my Drunk by Daylight team. It's actually so funny. The first time I ever did it, it was supposed to be just kind of like a one-off thing, right? And then the next week, Slam was like, so when do you guys want to do it this week? And I was like, okay. I'm not good at commitment. I don't like having to commit, but okay. Let's see. Who am I gonna? Oh, I gotta send you guys to one of my fave girls. One of my fave girls. Noted? Why do you say noted? No, don't take notes of that. All right, you guys. My name is Lilybell. I love to travel, but I suck at geography. My big celebration is going to be on Sunday. It's a big award show. Please come. It's not even a joke. This is like the one. If I could ask you to come to one stream, please come to that one. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for flying with Lilybell Air. Bye-bye now.